This is the Wrestling for Life Network, and this is another live stream. We are here for TNA Impact tonight. It is the fallout from No Surrender. We got a huge main event tonight. We got some tag team action going on. I'm excited for tonight's show, so let's get right into it. Like I said, this is the Wrestling for Life Network. We are here for TNA Impact once again on a Thursday night. There's a lot going down on the card. If you don't know who I am Anthony by Elegance, and that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its tag stream champions of the world, the man who puts the T in TNA, ringside or Anthony. I'm Big Nick. I'm still trying to workshop the elegance, my guy. It's hard to find a word that rhymes with elegance. But excited for tonight. Another taped episode. I know you're going to be there for the live one, the first live one since the episode number 2 out there when they're in Atlanta. But you, TNA, I keep saying you guys because that's the home team for you, but keep gaining viewers on all these taped episodes. Normally this is when you would think the live premiere would be where they kind of reach their peak and everything keeps falling off, but yet they keep growing. They're doing the opposite.
Yeah, which is extremely rare in today's TV landscape with cord cutting and people switching over to streaming. So it's very rare for a show to gain viewers as they go along. It was that slight dip in the second episode, which was supposed to be a massive dip according to the IWC, and then since then it's just been gaining viewers each week. As this past week we gained, I think, about 13,000 viewers for TNA. So I'm here for it. I'm excited.
How does it feel though to be now in the discussion of the ratings watch that has taken over pro wrestling for the last 5 to 6 years now? Of it's all about the ratings numbers of who's beating who. Honestly, if it wasn't for a Grand Slam and Tommaso Ciampa, you might be chasing down a Collision.
Right. I think it's good. It shows that TNA is growing. It also shows that TNA has some stability on a major network. I like the fact that, it kind of shuts up Dave Meltzer too, who had a lot of things to say, over the past couple of weeks. But every time the ratings come out, it seems like I think he angrily tweets the ratings because it's like they beat what he had to say again. But I think it's great.
Another 20,000 viewers.
But yeah, I think it's great, and it is really surprising. Even last week, I remember when we left here last week, right before we went off stream, we talked about how we didn't think they would gain viewers this week. We thought it would kind of level out and stay the same, and that was not the case. They proved us wrong here on the channel.
Facts, my guy. But we got plenty of people that are in the chat that are going to prove us wrong and everything too, as well as because we got about 10 minutes or so before the show kicks off. I do want to get your opinion, your thoughts, your feelings on No Surrender at some point, but we do got to say hi to the people. Remember, everyone, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend, all about that. And because I think too, just a little quick pot shot of a lot of the people that were covering TNA around the premiere episode and the second episode ain't paying attention too much to it anymore. Now is it?
That's the truth. That's the truth. No one's watching it anymore but us and a few others that would watch it from time to time. But yeah, there's no one of the big streamers out there.
Well, is this showing that TNA had that consistent audience all along, and that now that it's more accessible, that's where you're seeing those viewers kind of come back to it of, hey, I remember TNA. You remember TNA? Yeah, hey, look at it. They're right there after John Wick and everything. Let's leave it on.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is reeling in new fans, bringing back the old fans that used to watch it back in the day. And it might not be the same product that it was, back in the height of Spike TV, but they're still around. They're still kicking, and the ratings are showing it too.
Right. But top 3 from last night: Spaz, Damien, Mega. Again, folks, get in the chat. We try and click on as many as we can, especially when StreamYard tries to be difficult with us. But That's how you get your points. That's how you end up the top of the pops out there when it comes to the chat. But Zach, National Chocolate Mint Day. Are you a mint chocolate guy? Are you a thin mint fellow?
It has to be mint chocolate from, this is going to sound crazy, but from Olive Garden, when they give out the mint chocolate at the very, very end when you pay your
Aren't
tab.
those just like Andy's chocolates, my guy?
I
I think
don't
it's just
know.
Andy's chocolates. I'm a big mint guy. I'm a big peppermint, like the peppermint bark and everything around Christmas time. So I'm a sucker for some thin mints. I'll even buy the knockoff store brand when I can't get the Girl Scouts and everything. I'm a fiend. I'm an addict to it.
Hey, there's nothing bad about that. There's nothing wrong about that.
Except for my waistline, my guy. My doctor keeps telling me. Those thin mints don't make you thin, my guy. They make you thick mints.
That's true.
But Damien, what up? Kevin, what up? Sean Reed, fam, always pumped for TNA. Is there a way to turn Leon Slater heel for a world title run? In my opinion, if done right, could help TNA. But how? Leon,
I don't
Leon.
I don't know. I mean, there could be a potential way. I think he would need to drop the X Division title. I don't know, but he is defending the X Division title against Nick Nemeth live on the Atlanta show in a couple of weeks. So that could be a window of opportunity. But I do also think that TNA may, I don't want to say have enough top heels, but they do have some heels running around in that circle for the main event scene. So I don't know. We'll see.
Didn't he kind of have the issue with Santana and the tag match at No Surrender and everything?
He could potentially use that because he had Steve Macklin came out and attacked Macklin again. So he could use the theory that, Macklin kind of left him to fend for himself until Moose came out and obviously saved the day. But he could use that theory and run with it.
I still think you keep Leon as a babyface. That might give him a little bit of an edge or anything. I know a guy who's been in a lot of wrestlers' mouths lately, of Javon Evans. He's a guy like I couldn't see him turning heel. It's kind of the same thing with Leon. They can get a bit of an edge. I don't think they need to go full heel right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They can, like you said, put a little edge to his character if they wanted to. But I think he's perfect as a babyface. I think they need to keep it that way for a minute.
And him getting that edge to his character might help him elevate to the main event scene because he's still. He would still be a babyface when he shows up in NXT right now. I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
But Eric, Isaac, what up? Hey, Wrestling for Life, buddy. It's going to be a fun tonight. And happy birthday to two singer legends, Seal. It's obligatory. You have to do that when you say that man's name. And the great Smokey Robinson.
Hey, happy birthday.
And then Mega. See, again, Canada's got the fresh tap TNA out there because they're the Canadian company and everything. But Mega's out there having to record his show because it starts at 8 for him. So he'll play catch up or sync up along the way.
Hey, appreciate you pausing and recording it to watch it with us. So that's a good sign.
Well, he's adjusted because I think it was last week he was out there of just letting it ride. And I'm a genius. I know everything that's coming before you. Care, what up?
What's up?
Clay, what up? Ken, do you see anybody I might have missed or anything? The Solution, what up?
I don't see anybody just yet. Did we get
Nightmare
Boston?
Queen 25? Yeah, has Boston made an appearance yet? Has Boston made an appearance?
I think I may see him in the chat. I think if it loads for me. I know I can see him in the YouTube, stream.
We got it. I see him there. I see Jake, the tribal chief out there. I see Trey, Boston. There you go. Hello there, homies. Boston, how we feeling? We can rub it in KJ's face now. The women's U.S. Olympic team took gold in hockey out here. I had to send that clip to that man of the goal in overtime. But yeah, we got Olympic gold in hockey for a three-peat.
Right.
Catch a triple-double.
I didn't get to watch the game, but yeah, congratulations to the U.S. beating Canada. So I did watch the hockey game. Was it yesterday when we played? Was it Sweden? I think it was. Oh, that was
either Sweden or Finland. One of them Nordic ones.
I think it was Sweden. That was good. That was a good one.
There you go. But Bradley, I see you. Ken, women's gold medal game was fire. Yeah, I was halfway catching updates. I didn't realize it was today until I was almost leaving work, and it was already in the third period. And they had Canada had a 1-0 lead, I believe, at that point, and then, came back in overtime, a game winner, walk it off. Do you believe in miracles?
That's good. That's good. I like that.
10 minutes left to cross the line. Well, we got about 4 minutes as
4 minutes left. Yeah.
Brad, what up, Boston? So Nightmare saying hi to everybody. So 4 minutes, if you can, briefly, sir, your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings on No Surrender.
I thought No Surrender was solid. I really liked the Trey Miguel match was fun. There was some mishaps in there. I don't know if Trey got kind of when they did the top rope spot and they fell. I don't know if Trey got kind of dazed a little bit. I don't know if it was Trey. I don't know if it was Stacks, but it was some miscommunications there. Nonetheless, I thought the match was great. The main event, the tag match, phenomenal, right? And then the Righteous match, it was okay. The Righteous with the Hardys, it was okay. I was probably expecting a little bit more than I bargained for, but it was okay. I would probably give that on a scale, probably a 6. The Ariana Grace match with Lei Ying Li, I actually thought the match was really good. They gave both ladies some time. I think they probably had 15 to 20 minutes. I was shocked of how Ariana Grace performed. Obviously not shocked about Lei Ying Li. That's Lei Ying Li. She's done great things since she's came to TNA. I don't like the outcome, not because of Ariana Grace. I'm not a hater of Ariana Grace. I just feel like I don't feel like it's facts that since the summer of 2025, we have not had a total knockouts feud for that knockouts title. We were so close with Masha and Ash, and then Masha had the stuff, and then Ash relinquished the title, and then we were so close with Danny Luna and Lei Ying Li, and then Danny Luna got caught up in the UK. And it seems like they just roll back the curtain and give it to WWE, give it to the NXT talent. And I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've seen the theory of TNA doesn't have any stars, but we have a knockouts division, and you can't build the knockouts division in the current knockouts that we have without putting them on television. So we can't even tell who's a star until those wrestlers are actually used on TNA television, and they're not being used. That's kind of how I feel about that.
No, that's like literally clip that, because that is perfectly put, sir. I think that's an underlying thing that a lot of people are missing, that whole discussion. And like you even touched on at the very end there, it's a little bit like, oh, we don't have any stars on our whatever team, but you don't want to try and pull anybody off the bench or anything like that, or use anybody. You want to keep signing free agents. Well, maybe give the people actually on your roster a shot. If you can't build people up and then say, like, not build people up and then say I don't have any stars.
Exactly. That's the point of signing new talent. You want to build that talent up to become new stars, and if you're not giving them that opportunity, that's a problem. And that's not on Ariana Grace. That's on TNA, and that's on TNA's booking. I know a lot of fans came out, and probably non-TNA fans came out and attacked Ariana Grace. That's not the person you point the finger at. You point the finger at the booking.
That is actually a poignant. That is perfectly put again. Because I mean, does it feel a little a soul for a soul? They gave back the international title, so you take the knockouts title of, we'll give you this back, but we're going to take this now.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt, and I tweeted that night. I was like, so we take the international title off of Stacks to give the knockouts title to Ariana Grace, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, and I think the biggest thing that really kind of, I guess, pissed me off in that match was the fact that you have Danny Luna come out to potentially interrupt the match, and it doesn't happen. Like, and she was the number one contender. I get that Jody Threat is
in that spot, but
exactly, she could have been in the spot to where she actually caused the disqualification in that match, but it just did not happen. As right. TNA is live now. You got to turn up the volume here.
Yeah, I got them kicking off, as I do see people in the chat of StreamYard again is doing its lovely things, even though we've reported, and they had the thing of a survey of what could you fix about the StreamYard before, like, the NXT stream or something, I just put like 3 times over, please fix your chat. Please fix your chat. Your chat gets delayed. Please fix it.
The last chat I have is actually from exactly 10 minutes ago. And it says, "Hey, Brad," and that's from Boston. So I don't see anything.
Oh, I have Good and You Nightmare from 852 from Boston, but I do see Kyle in the chat on YouTube. I see Bash. I see Trey again. Nightmare Queen still out there. Samuel Rivera. I know there's a super chat from Spaz. Vance, I see you. So again, Paul, we're not trying to ignore everybody. It's just it's not loading on our lovely back end despite anything that we do. It's like how on what was it? And it was on Tuesday when we shut down YouTube. We broke YouTube.
Right.
And then we fixed it in the same night.
And I think I even saw KJ last night pull out his phone during the AEW stream to read the chat. That's how backed up and bad it is right now.
We're overloading the chat, folks. Let's see if we can break this system more. Let's break it to the point to where they can't ignore the emails and everything that we send them saying fix your chat. Be the voice of the voiceless out here. Let's buck the system. And again, we are
exactly
on the slide for it, but now we are again also the WFU. We've ran away from the IWC. See, where we become a sovereign nation, and the sovereign nation is taking over out here, my guy.
Absolutely. So we're gonna do our best, me and Nick, to stay with the show, to stay with the chat as best as I can. I got the YouTube stream up too. I'm sure you do. So we just got to play catch up throughout the night like we did last Thursday.
We're hot dogs, so catch up, homie. But yeah, Jelly Roll and Teddy Swims both showing up at No Surrender 2, by the way. I know Nashville because Nashville, but I'm surprised that's not a big talked about point for TNA of they got legit celebs showing up like Teddy Swims out there helping put the belt on Trey Miguel, and that feels like it was a news story swept under the rug.
Yeah, I think that was like, I was shocked to see Jelly Roll because to me, I feel like Jelly Roll, I don't want to say a WWE celebrity, but when you think of Jelly Roll in wrestling, you think of WWE. So seeing him at a TNA event,
he made his first appearance there.
Exactly. He had his first match there. So when I saw him, I was shocked. But I think what really maybe overshadowed the celebrities is the Mickie James return. I don't think anybody expected
about it
that.
until you just said it, and I cover this daily.
The way I may have streamed for Mickie James, I was shocked. I was shocked.
I honestly still just thought of the fucking clip from Wing of the Ring to where no.
Now
I'm so confident and so wrong.
Now I thought when she first came out, I heard your voice in my head, like, why not at the Rumble?
Fair enough. I mean, to be true. See, and we mentioned it. We just apparently we need to speak out loud to the StreamYard gods and everything because we said it, and then the chat finally kind of backfilled out here. But Spaz out here with $5. Wrestling for Life's AAA ambassador. Reporting for duty. It's Thursday. You know what that means. Time for your weekly shot of vitamin. Tony D. Pause with a slick Nick chaser. That actually is clever as shit, but provocative as hell.
I don't know if you got Indy Hartwell in the ring, but I got Indy Hartwell in the ring.
Yes, sir. And I got Mr. Stormy, Ant by Elegance, and Big No. I call myself Big No somehow. I combined my name and hello. Happy birthday to Smokey Robinson.
Yeah, happy birthday to Smokey Robinson.
Do we see a Mickie James here tonight or anything? As I've got Iceman out here, but you're right. You hit the nail on the head. I literally had damn near forgotten, and we put a whole clip out about it.
Right.
Returning because it hasn't been talked about.
It has not been talked about. It was a shocker to me. I did explain in the video that was posted on our social media, like the story that's behind it. I just didn't think it was going to be Mickie James. The feud that's been going on social media has been between Ash, the Elegance brand, and the Brooke Tessmacher and Taryn Terrell, former Knockouts. So Mickie James showing up, I think just threw everybody off, but in a good way. And then her going after Ash, I think because Ash is not in the Knockouts title picture right now, I think this is perfect. I think this is perfect for her.
I need whoever is going with Anthony to the TNA show in March in Atlanta and everything to just have a cam rolling for when probably Mickey James shows up and attacks Ash by Elegance, because I need the full showcase of emotions and everything. I need the Bart Simpson, Ralph Wiggum. You can see the moment his heart broke and everything. Because I feel like that's going to be the thing of, I mean, if we haven't used her, you know, she's not advertised for tonight. I mean, obviously she wasn't advertised for the pay-per-view, but I mean, if there's a time, if you're going to bring her back and really throw her back into the forefront, the live show is probably a good way to do it.
That's exactly right. That could be where you set up. You got me speechless at this point because I want it to happen. That could where you set up for Ash versus Mickey James. Just have it on the live episode. If not, you know, you can have it on the next pay-per-view, which I think is Sacrifice. But yeah, I think that was a big moment. If you talk about stars of the Knockouts division, she is one of them. She did kind of hint that she might be back for longer than you expect her to be back, but it's we'll see.
Fair enough, but it's just Heather by Elegance taking on Indy Hartwell right now. So do you have to go with the Elegance brand? Are you allowed to pick outside of the Elegance brand?
I don't think I'm allowed to pick outside of the Elegance brand, so I have to go with Heather by Elegance.
There you go. I'll take Indy then, but Ant by Elegance, I got that one. Nightmare Queen, where's KJ White? KJ is taking a lovely pause for the cause because he was out there going through Dynamite last night, which maybe if we get a commercial, we can talk into at least some of that, at least with the Kenny Omega and the Swerve Strickland situation. I very much have some opinions on Hangman busting out the Cody stipulation.
If we're setting up for a rant, then I think we need to set that up for a commercial break.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's good. There's some words. So this man's got to, you know, that's why KJ's got to recover from Wednesday night rant out there. So he's resting, maxing, relaxing, and recuperating. But we will be back here Friday for SmackDown, and we will be here on Sunday. All three of y'all. Out here for the Elimination Chamber prediction show.
Yes, it should be a good one for Sunday's live stream. I'm looking forward to it. As we got what is his name? Mr. Elegance on screen. He has his debut match.
You're jockeying position with this man of what is his name again? Does he even go here? I'm the real Mr. Elegance.
It should have been me.
Your Nick Nemeth out there. Just someone cut that of just Anthony and then the Dolph Ziggler. It should have been me.
Exactly. But he makes his debut, his wrestling debut at the live episode in Atlanta. So that's going to be interesting.
He's facing Anthony for who is the real Mr. Elegance.
Exactly. The Mr. Elegance title.
It's on the line, folks. Book it. Only in Atlanta, Georgia. But Ronan, TNA just became Elegant. Jobson, I'll let you have this one because I want you to answer this.
Even in Big Nick and Ant by Elegance, is Ash cleared for in-ring competition? She is clear for in-ring competition. And she did say, I don't know if anybody really watches Explosion, but I do watch Explosion. They have a segment on Explosion called Around the Ring with Gia Miller, where she kind of interviews the wrestler. And they don't really talk about wrestling. They just kind of talk about everything else. But with this specific interview, they did talk about wrestling with Ash. And Ash basically said in time, she will reveal to the world what actually transpired between her time away from wrestling. So it will come out eventually.
Is that the TNA version of like, I don't know. I can't fully say of like when Punk did the whole podcast with Colt Cabana and everything after he'd already left WWE, because that's a big situation. But
yeah,
is it kind of like a TNA equivalent of like everybody kind of wants to know? Like it's not even like in a bad way kind of thing, but like I want to praise you for you came back from whatever you went through.
Yeah, I think that's actually what it is. A lot of people just want to know to kind of give her congratulations, her props, or whatever she had to beat and overcome to get back to the ring. I don't really see much, hate around not knowing. They just want to know to,
I want to give you your flowers, but are they for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, President's Day? Which holiday am I giving them for?
Exactly.
Wow, somebody wasted $20 on an Elena Black shirt.
They probably didn't waste $20. They probably wasted about $30, $30 to $40. Those shirts on TNA Plus or TNA's website are pretty expensive.
I was wishing I had a slide for it, but it doesn't seem like I do. So, well, I know where you can spend much less and spend it on high quality products and better. We got the threads of, like KJ always likes to say, we shirt people. We do have the Wrestling for Life Network merch store. It's in the description on the video and everything. And again, get it while it's there, folks, because it's getting a whole new revamp. All of that. I know Jose's gotten his stuff out there at an AEW show rocking a Meltzer shirt in Chicago CM Punk style. So good on you. And again,
good on you.
When you go to like a pay-per-view or anything like that, you bring a Wrestling for Life Network sign. And you can prove it. We'll send you some merch. We're doing, giveaways and everything now with the whole predictions title. So get your merch today. Shameless, unshameless plug.
Shameless, unshameless plug. I like that. They're giving these women some time, and I don't think we went to a commercial break from all of our talking. I think they're kind of running the tradition like they have been over the past couple of weeks, is letting the first match kind of go with no commercial break.
Which is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
If you were a live show.
Oh God, there goes Mr. Elegance again.
He really looks like if Jack Perry just went on like the AJ Styles Randy Orton diet.
Exactly.
Like just full Jack Perry.
No, you're absolutely right.
Oh yeah.
You're throwing him out.
The whole brand. So you got to get on out of here, sir. I guess you've been trying.
I guess I got to go take a pause.
But Ash is,
she is freaking out.
This is uncouth. When have you heard a wrestling commentator use the term uncouth?
I've never heard that before.
How many people here know or could spell uncouth?
I mean, Ash is having a whole meltdown over there. Oh, Heather up top. Look like she's going for
You read this.
Mr. Elegance looks like Mr. Centipede from James. Oh, that's so old, James and the Giant Peach. But you're right.
That is that's an Odell Beckham Jr. catch of a callback there.
Right.
Well, you had to go deep into the chamber. Ooh.
Oh,
kind of good face buster. Is that?
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't know if she uses that regular as a finisher, but she should start.
I don't recall seeing that. That was nice. All right,
it's
Andy.
just a tossed face buster, which is actually because you don't see anybody else do it.
Yeah. Something unique, something different, which is hard to find in today's wrestling. Something different. Solid opening match for these two.
Right.
Do we get Mickie James? Do we? No.
Well, we got the ejected elegance. That's what we got.
That's what we got.
Wrestle Rants, I see you. And then Spaz with another $5 super chat. Here, I'll let you read this one. I've been reading a lot.
All right. So Spaz says, I don't want to be that guy because I'm curious as well about Ash being gone and back. But is it worth saying that I don't want to share that is uber valid? Okay, I'm a little confused.
He's saying that is it valid that you don't owe, like, I don't owe you that. I don't need to tell you. Like, we all want to know, but I don't have to tell you.
Okay, yeah.
You did, but I don't have to I don't owe you shit.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I'm a little slow. Yeah.
We all are.
Totally though. Like she doesn't have to give us an explanation at all. I mean, she's back. That's the good thing that we need to know. If she is willing and ready to share it, obviously I'll be listening, but she doesn't owe us anything, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Other than which she did confirm that it wasn't a storyline, that she was legit out. So
speaking of things not a storyline, but Macklin and Hannafin out here
with his beard shaved. I don't like that, but okay.
He looks like he's Solid Snake or something. Like he's going to be in a Call of Duty game or something. Like he's auditioning for Small Soldiers, the live action movie. But he's out here earlier today with Tom Hannafin.
Tom is saying if you try to enter this building, they're going to arrest you for trespassing.
Which is what they should. Treat it like it's real.
To make this more real. He said, get me into the building this week, next week. I don't care. I have a lot to get off my chest.
So that might be your CM Punk Pipe Bomb podcast.
Exactly. Would be cool if they hold this off. I want everything to be held off until Atlanta. It's only 2 weeks.
With my own eyes.
It's only 2 weeks. They can do it. But like he just busts through the crowd and like cuts a promo or something. I don't know. But I like that he's still on TV. He's technically not fired right now. This is good. So
right. As I got Mike Santana walking through the crowd right now.
We will hear from Mike Santana, and I'm sure he has a lot to say.
That was Garland's old finisher on the Indies. Apparently, Johnny Garland. Are you trying to say Johnny Gargano? Because I don't recall a Johnny Garland's. The only Garland's I know was around Christmas time.
I was just about to say the same thing.
We figured it out. Autocorrect came back around.
Well, I don't know about you. I am on commercial. So do you want to go ahead and have the floor and rant about last night's AEW Dynamite?
Well, it depends on which topic is in and everything like that. But yes, we are on commercial break again, folks. I see we got about 66 people. Let's see if we can get to 70 triple digits out here, especially on a TNA stream. Trust me, I know there ain't too many TNA streams going around. So be a friend, tell a friend. But what did you watch AEW Dynamite last night? Sorry.
I did watch AEW Dynamite, and I do feel like the best part of Dynamite was the main event. I'm a little confused about what happened after. I know he turned heel. I get that. But the match itself was great. I really enjoyed the match between those two. Everything else before that, it was just there and it happened and I watched it.
Okay. So you mentioned what happened before that because we can talk about the main event. The main event was amazing, and I'm still very interested of Swerve turning heel. Kenny's allegedly got to actually take some time off, like actually had scheduling conflicts, so that's why they did what they did and everything.
That makes sense. Okay.
The big thing I have an issue with, I sound like a car salesman, huge thing I have an issue with is Hangman Page, pretty much for all intents and purposes, I've designated as invoking the Cody Rhodes stipulation of if I lose to you, Max, I can never challenge for the world title ever again, which I have had certain people try to explain to me of, well, he could just revoke it later and just be a heel. No, he just looks like a fucking idiot then, because why would you even put it on the line in the first place? No one made you do it. It's AEW booking themselves into a corner with this with me, because if MJF loses is the only way you don't screw over Hangman and kneecap that whole character for a long time, and you hoping that they don't fuck it up. That's your big hope for Hangman losing, is that they don't fuck it up. Bold strategy, Cotton. And then if you have MJF lose, then you've wasted that whole heel turn. You've wasted the return. The man's still in booking purgatory from the Devil storyline and still recovering from that. So now you have him instantly lose to when his only wins as a champion were against Brodito. If you wanted a stipulation added to the match because you felt like you needed it, instead of just having these two guys have a fantastic match where the best wrestle is the key word, not have a best wrestling match with a stipulation, but wrestle. If you needed a stipulation added onto it, you could have done it without invoking this stupid fucking rule that Cody Rhodes brought up. And it screwed him, and it cost him, and it nerfed him as a whole talent in AEW. So why, in the name of our Lord, in 2026, would you try and bring it back? Sorry,
So,
I took a breath.
oh no, you're fine. So, if we can backtrack a little bit, I didn't even hear him say that until after the show because I checked out about 3 minutes into that promo because I felt like it went too long. Like
I did see some people saying it was like the Hall of Fame last year of people were sleeping.
It was very long. I wouldn't say 3 minutes. I would say about 5 or 6 minutes. But it was like, oh my God, will y'all shut up and we move on to the next segment? So I didn't hear that until after the fact, like this morning, actually, when I was scrolling through. I'm with you. Like, I think it's a stupid stipulation. First of all, I feel like a lot of times when it comes to the world title matches in AEW, we don't really see a straight up, just wrestling match, some of the time. Not all the time, some of the time, because I think we did get one at Grand Slam. It was a straight up world title, nothing stipulation.
That was the first time in a long time because you've had casket matches, you've had this match, you've had triple threats, you've had fatal four-way.
Exactly. So I think it's just weird. And like you said, putting yourself in that box, it F's with your character. Let's just say it like that. Putting yourself in that box. We saw it with Cody Rhodes, like you said. So I don't know. It feels like it's a must win for Hangman, but I also don't want to see MJF lose the title. He just got it. He's been champion, 2 months? I don't know. I don't like that.
I'm going to say clip this right now just so the AI bot and probably KJ, when they're editing this, can try and at least find the clip of me going insane and losing my mind about this whole situation. Just as a halfway timestamp, but I do have Mike Santana talking right now. But
yes,
if I can talk a little bit more about this, of it just, you didn't need to do it. And so why do it? I get that there's some people, well, it actually adds intrigue to the match of it. It makes it feel like anybody could win. Yeah, but whoever wins, the other one's fucked. That's a bit of the situation. And so you're telling me that AEW, the company that had MJF lose in like 10 seconds to Brody King to get to Grand Slam, couldn't make a regular match, unpredictable, shouldn't feel unpredictable. And even sell it as a marquee match. The world title is a marquee. That's what it is. You walked away from so many elements of what the best wrestling, your whole concept is. And now you've got to add this stupid stipulation because, anyone could win. But whoever loses, you might as well release them. Might as well say, hey, Hunter, do you want them? Because I'm not going to be able to use them afterwards.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, everything you said, I agree with. I think it's just
no, you're good. I know I tried to save it into a full commercial break.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Sometimes rants are longer than 3 minutes.
But Mike Santana, just to recap what he said, he's basically calling out Steve Maclin, and he just basically said that if you keep knocking on death's door, you're going to get that, basically. So we'll see where this leads. We know Maclin is not allowed in the building right now, so we'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
I have a strong feeling.
Leon.
But, because again, they have their whole issue from No Surrender.
And then he has option C too.
Right. But also, how does that at least make you feel that they're acknowledging this so much? So at some point, we are down the road in 2026 going to get Mike Santana versus Steve Maclin for the TNA World Title.
I think this is great. I think this is a perfect setup. I'm excited. This is something I've wanted for a minute, seeing Mike Santana and Steve Maclin go at it. So that match, I feel like may be a rebellion match in April, but we'll see. I'm excited.
There you go. Ken Rock, what up? Paul Carpenter. The problem with Hangman Page is that he's a good wrestler, but he's boring on the mic. Not according to Dave. He's the Wrestling Observer Network's best in interviews, allegedly. This is again where I retain that our four lifeies, the Golden KJs, hold more credibility, as do we hold more credibility than the entire Wrestling Observer Network.
True.
And the same thing with MJF. I had to inject the energy shot to get through that promo. Well, MJF is great on the mic, but you got to have two to tango.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. I totally agree.
Ken Rock, what up? Jose, I just got here. They're still talking about boxes. We're not talking about boxes. We're talking about stipulations. What?
So Mike Santana is basically saying Daria got in Leon's head with the option C thing. Makes sense. But he's saying, do you have my back? Do you can I trust you? And so
Ian, this isn't a heel turn from Leon. I know,
yeah.
Julian, these changes with Leon, good or not. I like them. I think this is more of, like we talked about earlier before the show even started, you're adding a bit of an edge to his character. He can only be the plucky baby face quite so much. Bailey could only be a hugger for so long.
Exactly. So Santana is basically saying, I didn't have your back at No Surrender, but you had mine, and he's offering a hand for an apology,
Shaking
which
hands.
looks like that's where we're getting now.
Yeah, I got them shaking hands. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Hangman stipulation is very weird. I don't know how Tony Khan going to get around this one. Seriously, because there's zero chance Jeff loses that soon.
And he shouldn't lose that soon.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the backed into a corner thing.
You booked yourself into it. You forced yourself into it. That's the whole situation with that.
I mean, he could have at least did, I won't challenge for the world title again as long as you're champion. That's the easiest route. You know, the logical.
If you want to even do anything close to that route, that's the only route you take. I'm doing the Michael Scott. Thank you. That's the only route you take.
So they just, that was weird. It was definitely weird.
It's just a poor creative decision from the Booker of the Year, so says the Wrestling Observer Network.
Absolutely.
So Nemeth out here. Or the Nemesis. We forgot. We got the Nemesis.
We got the Nemesis.
The Nemesis. The Transformation Month with the Nemesis.
I forgot he still has that trophy.
But that was part of the whole tag setup. Is Eddie could cash in his briefcase, Nick had the trophy, and Leon had option C.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is why Mike Santana's got a bullseye on his back.
Yeah, and then he has Steve Macklin in his ear. I mean, he has a lot of targets on his back at this point.
Right. Corey out there on Twitch, again, reminder, folks, we do have the Twitch. So again, if we break YouTube like we did on Tuesday, we still always got the Twitch out there. The Twitch we got both of them, so at least one of them will be working perfectly. But is Steve actually fired from TNA, or is it a work?
Right now, I definitely believe it's a work. I mean, if he was actually fired, I think he would. The last time I actually seen the Feaster fired and somebody get fired was Yuya Yamura. He left TNA. That was the last time they did it. So I think this is more of a storyline here. I took it to heart a couple of weeks ago because I thought this man was gone, but it doesn't seem that way.
Best moment in TNA Stream's history.
Exactly. Where would he go if he was actually fired? Because Deonna Purrazzo is begging to wrestle on, Twitter every day. So I think this is the place where Steve Macklin needs to be.
You let his mom out. Sorry, my kidding. The thing got stuck where it shouldn't have gotten stuck. But your baby mama out here stuck for the latest ride, and you ain't got no job. But no, I think it's fully kayfabe. It's fully a story and everything. Now, granted, could it be a situation like allegedly of that AJ Styles is having his, tribute show in Atlanta on Monday Night Raw coming up, but his contract ends in the middle of, at the end of February. So we sneak this in, and then maybe he goes wrestle somewhere else, because he's alluded to he's going to wrestle somewhere else. Allegedly, WWE feels that way. But if you've retired from WWE, where else you going to wrestle? Oh, I already know your thoughts.
TNA, right? Is it a coincidence that he's, that they're in Atlanta a couple of weeks later?
Coincidence? I think
I don't know. Maybe.
Again, now, much like I said, whoever's going to the show with Anthony, much like the Mickey James Ash by Elegance moment that I've talked about, if there is somehow an AJ Styles moment, you need to be quick ready with the trigger. I need to see full action replay. I need Anthony vlog in Atlanta.
I'm gonna have to use the picture-in-picture app where it shows the ring and then it shows me at the top because I'm going by myself. So I'm gonna have to use the
there you go.
Well,
then no. If you're in the Atlanta area and you want to hang out with Ringside Anthony, there you go. But even then, if we need the Anthony vlog live in TNA, see how much you get through the production truck. You got the headset and everything, Carlos. So we're gonna see, in the production truck and all.
You might see me in the production truck.
So at Sacrifice, something's happening.
Yeah, it seems like
this is stupid. Hold me back, bro. I wasn't doing anything 10 seconds before, but hold me back, bro. Hold me back. Can we all just admit I like Sonya Deville? I think she's actually a decent. I like her. She got the good podcast and everything. I understand it's part of her real name, but Diarrhea out there just shits all over every segment she ends up in right now when it comes to TNA. Has there been a good segment of hers in TNA in your opinion?
I did like the segment. I think it was a couple of weeks ago when she interrupted Santino after he gave his daughter the title match. I did like that segment. They're not hitting like they were in WWE, but I mean, she's been here 4 weeks, I think now.
But she's got the acronym of suit of shut up, I'm talking. Like it's just so much over the top shtick.
I mean, we talked about the over the top, which I feel like it's not. So, but I mean, her segments have been decent.
Okay. Agree to disagree. If I have a predisposed bias, I guess, towards it, if you want to put it that way. It's much like the Dark State on NXT. If I already dislike it, so you ain't gonna change my mind.
We can definitely agree to disagree. Maybe we just have different definitions of over the top. Because for me, over the top is like, I'll say how Ash by Elegance acted when they got thrown out earlier tonight. That's over the top for me.
Okay. So again, yeah. So then we definitely have different definitions.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think that's just where we are there.
We're bringing words and encyclopedias and people together, my guy.
So the next match I think we have up is the Trey Miguel match. I think I saw that up next. So that as long as Trey Miguel retains and we don't give the belt back to Stacks, TNA, we will be okay.
But the birthright in NXT, my guy, we should care about NXT, right? Because David Finlay is going to be over there in that loser faction of evolved guys that showed up and attacked TNA, which they never resolved that story either. By the way, story? When you had like Tyson and DuPont, like you had Lexus King and all of them, and Robert Stone before he became GM, just show up and start attacking TNA talent. They just kind of
they did. They resolved that at Final Resolution. It was a steel cage match. That was actually when Ariana Grace turned on Santino. TNA won that.
It just made me feel like the most wrong human being. If they didn't come to a Final Resolution, they came to a Final Resolution at a pay-per-view called Final Resolution, Nick. How fucking stupid can you be? How could you be so wrong? That's perfect. I'm like, again, how can I, this is why why I love you. Nope, you're completely wrong, my guy.
Yeah, it came to a Final Resolution at Final Resolution. Hey, that's why I'm the TNA guy. I remember a lot of
that. No, that's why again. No, not in my house, my guy. Taco out there on Twitch, a heel of 30 figure is good for TNA. She absorbs the heat well. What the? Is she a fucking solar panel? What?
I was about to say,
I had to make the joke.
Do you mean, gain heat, garner heat, absorbs the heat? I don't know. That's like
I get what he's saying of absorbs the heat. Of she plays off it well. If she's a good heat magnet, all of that. she plays good opposite Santino, I guess, if you're going to do the whole power struggle thing and the back and forth. But should you then have it be every time that she makes an announcement, Santino shows up to counter it of, I'm going to make Ariana Grace have a title match, but I'm going to make it no DQ, of the counter booking each other the whole time. They both have creative control. So they're both trying to outmatch each other. Of, I'm going to make a tag match, but I'm going to make it a ladder match because Q.
I can see your point there. I can get that, where it's consistent, like counter booking each other because they're not happy with what each other is doing.
You need to decide who really runs the shit. I can
see that. It should be more of an in between, where you have a little bit of that counter booking, but then you have actual strife in between. Like, I can't really give an example off the top of my head, but more strife between the two GMs.
You knew I was in a meeting, so I can deal with that. So you knew I had to go and deal with this and everything. So no, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I like that. So I can give you that on that point. Yeah, it's too much back and forth between them, where I booked this. Oh no, I got an email from management and they want it this way. I can see that point.
See, Carlos Silva. Hire us. We'll do the creative. We'll be on the writing staff and everything, my guy. We'll even do it on the low. This man's already got elegance in my name, or in his name. My name.
I'm halfway there. I'm halfway there already.
Yeah, exactly. When has wrestling not been over the top? Valid. But I think, again, much to even like Taco's point of, she's got heat of, I dare border on, is it I'm reacting of how they want me to react to her showing up, because there is a line between actual heel heat and go away heat of like, nah, I don't fuck with this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And she definitely has that like legitimate heat with the crowd. I mean, we've seen the go away heat with like sometimes with Mercedes Moné, sometimes with Moxley. So yeah,
I think we're going to see it tonight with Elena Black.
We may. You even in the preview that I gave for us to put out, I spent 2.5 seconds on Elena
Black. This man just took a big sigh. You notice there was a clip and a hard cut in between that. That was that man going,
fuck. Like I don't even know what to say. Like I don't even know what she's doing, and it's not anything good right now.
She's dating Casey Navarro.
Who's on the sidelines right now with an injury,
but who's also a TNA talent.
Exactly.
Well, is that what they do good in that household? They stay on the sidelines.
Maybe. So we got Daria as we're back with TNA
with Kaz. So two of my favorite people in TNA right now
on your screen. You love it. I know. You know what would make it better? Alicia Edwards.
She's gonna be the new fucking authority figure or some shit. My God, put that evil on me.
Oh, I didn't even hear what Frankie Kazarian said with his good idea.
Good, that's a blessing. We are all saved brain cells from not hearing what Frankie Kazarian had to say. But Alan Angels, by the way. Well, I'm saying
so next week. They said that it'll be Slater and Mike Santana against the Nemesis on TNA next week.
But as I have stacks coming out, but I brought it up if we ever talked about it there of Alan Angels. I know you were excited of Alan Angels returning.
Yeah, I was excited about Alan Angels returning, and I don't even know. Like there was people saying that he was signed with TNA and just was gone for a minute. I thought he wasn't in TNA at all. I thought he kind of stepped away from the company. If he's back, that's great, and I hope they find something that fits him and find something that he can really put his skills in. The X Division would be great for him. But yeah, I am glad. I was shocked when he came out. I was really shocked. So I hope they find something for him. I've seen him wrestle a couple of times live, and he's really a great wrestler. He just needs to find that character to kind of push him into that star scene, if you want to say.
Absolutely. That mid card is probably his cap, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Raise your hand if you still thought he was part of the Dark Order in AEW. So again, thank you, Anthony, for reminding me of people have left that company or are in TNA.
Yeah.
I will fully.
And I just forgot he was until you mentioned that he was a member of the Dark Order. He was like
I thought he was.
member, right?
That's what I'm saying. I thought he was still over there, my guy. I thought he was. He crossed the line.
Yeah, the last like videos I have of him when I went to TNA Live was in 2023, and I don't recall seeing him in 2024 at all. I may be wrong. But yeah, I felt like we haven't seen him in TNA in almost 2 years.
Well, and we talked about this. I can't remember exactly who brought this up on one of the live streams at one point of potentially doing the idea of as Stax and Ariana are cutting a promo, and if you live in an Italian household or live on the Northeast, you fucking know what they're saying. So
exactly,
it is the same tone of you just used to this at Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner. You just tune this shit out. But of doing a draft of like almost if you were to start a fourth company right now, out of all the people that all these promotions have on roster but don't use, of what would that draft look like? A supplemental wrestling draft. What would that look like?
Of talent that's not being used.
That's not being used. So like I know Deonna Purrazzo, check her off the board. That's Anthony's first pick, especially if he gets
right.
But yeah, something like that. I think that's the thing is we're talking about an Allen Angels, Deonna Purrazzo. If Steve Macklin is actually wrapping it up with TNA of how much talent is still out there that isn't on TV regularly.
And there's a lot of talent, especially with AEW, because they continue to sign people and then not use them. And WWE, I don't want to say does the same, but WWE does have a lot of talent not being used sometimes. Like, I don't know really where Rusev is. Like, I know he was prominent for.
He showed up and challenged Oba with the Rusev Day shirt on, so maybe we get a.
I missed that.
That was on Monday Night Raw, so maybe we get a Matthew Reinhold showing up of Rusev. What day is today?
Rusev
Day.
I don't like that idea of having some type of like supplemental draft like that. If there was
doing that as original content on the show, so if someone does this before us, you don't know where they done stole it from.
Exactly. As we got Trey Miguel coming out, and he has a green international title belt to match his.
That's a comeback. Kyle Fletcher's pink TNT championship.
Did we not see that on TV? Because I saw like videos online, but I did not see that on TV.
That was not on TV. That was after the show. That was after the airing, to where I think I had it. I don't know if it went up on the channel or whatever, to where there was a whole 2-minute video of even where Mark Davis was out there, and he did a whole thing of introducing, pulling out of the bag of him getting the pink TNT title.
Yeah, I didn't see that on television. And I also, didn't like that they kind of introduced the inspiration like off television, and then
the buggers from Duggar Road or whatever out there. Just we're gonna debut in Brisbane on a fucking house show.
Exactly, and then you don't put them on Dynamite like this week. Or I don't know. I don't book the shows. I just watch them.
Well, I'm gonna let you talk about the inspiration. How TNA misses them and how you feel about them being in AEW. While I go and file the copyright there for us doing the supplemental wrestling draft show and everything.
Got you. I got you. As Nick takes a pause here, we are back with TNA. We got Trey Miguel versus Stax. It's a rematch for the international championship that went down at No Surrender, with Trey Miguel picking up the victory. He has a special title belt. He has a green international title. How you feeling about that? As the chat has not caught up over here, so I may have to turn my face a little bit over here to see. Let's see here. So Vance says, hopefully Trey does not get a Ciampa treatment in this match. I don't think he does. I hope that he retains that title. I think that needs to happen. Like we need the title in TNA. He never should have really got it. Steve Macklin should still be international champion, in my opinion. I can't see the name, but I think it's the K Cabral. Hopefully I said that all right. Said, Anthony, have they announced when TNA will be live again after March 5th? Before I answer that question, TNA is on commercial at this point on AMC. No. Right now, I think I need to look, and I can look while TNA is actually on commercial here. March 5th is when they're live. Then they're live for Sacrifice. They may be live once again. They announced some new dates. They may be live once again somewhere in April, maybe around Rebellion. Let me see here. So it doesn't it doesn't look like it. So right now there's no live past March 5th. I'm kind of shocked about that, but as the news comes out, obviously I'll drop it on the channel for you guys. But no, right now there is no live episode past March 5th. So I guess that's why I'm super excited for this live episode that I'll be at. I'm going through the chat again. Let's see here. Anthony Thompson says Bailey might be in AEW by April. I've seen a lot of people talk about Bailey going to AEW, right? Is it a good fit for her? Not entirely sure. Would it be a change for her? Absolutely. Her best friend is over there. So we'll see. We'll see. Bradley down here says they won't be live in Syracuse. They won't be or will be. That would be great if they are live in Syracuse, New York after Rebellion. That would make more sense. For some reason, the Syracuse dates are not on the TNA website. But I don't know, Bradley. I don't know if you're saying want or will be live, but hopefully they are live then. TNA is still on commercial here. Let's see. Nightmare Queen, do you think you want to see Kenny Omega turn heel as well in AEW? I think a lot of folks like Kenny Omega as a face. Me personally, I do. I think I don't like how they turned Swerve heel last night, but I like that he is heel. I think that's gonna bring like an edge to his character. So I'm kind of excited about that. Let me see here as I scroll up in the chat. Well, I should throw the question out there. Okay, so Bradley says no, they're taping on the Tuesday. I heard about that. Tuesday and Wednesday in Syracuse. So yeah, they won't be live for a minute. And finally the chat has caught up a little bit over here, but yeah, they won't be live for a minute. And I didn't think the Syracuse tapings were live. I just don't understand why they don't have it on the website here. But as TNA is on commercial here, how are we feeling about Trey Miguel versus Stacks? Who you want to win? Who should walk out of this episode still? I said still, but who should walk out the international champion? I feel like it should be Trey Miguel. It only needs to be Trey Miguel. That's just it. Paul Carpenter says Bailey stayed too long in a place that doesn't really take you. I think you were maybe saying take you seriously. I'm not sure, but you said really take you anywhere. Oh, really take you anywhere. Bailey should be a Hall of Famer maybe one day, 20 years from now, but she's got to do something. Bailey's character, I really feel like her best character was the hugger. I think that was when she did her top tier work. After that, I don't know. I feel like they just didn't invest in Bailey as much. I know she was the champion, but a year or so ago, the run wasn't the best. I really liked when she was tag team champions with Bailey. They were the first, if I can remember correctly. So I kind of see that, Paul. I kind of see that. I'm kind of with you there. We got I think Jobson down there saying Trey for the win all day. Absolutely. Bailey and TNA. Yes, Bailey and TNA would be great as TNA is actually back. And we got Trey Miguel in control. Looks like he has a He has a submission attempt on Stacks as Stacks kind of reverses it. Um, double stomp by Trey. 1, 2. Stacks kicks out. Going back to the chat a little bit, is Impact only on AMC or does Honor Club still stream it too? Impact is only on AMC. We're talking about TNA Impact is just on AMC, AMC Plus, and the TNA Plus app. Honor Club does not stream it. Did they ever stream TNA? I don't know. You gotta let me know because I don't know. Oop, Trey took a hard shot to the face there, and Stacks did like a spinning uppercut from the top rope, which was pretty cool. Oh, you meant TNA Plus. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yes. That makes sense. Yes. There's still streams on TNA Plus, on AMC Plus, and on AMC, and there's a lot of apps to take into account. And for some reason, the Twitch chat is actually a lot better and faster. So maybe you guys want to head over to Twitch because the YouTube chat is still trying to catch up a little bit. As Stacks goes to the top rope, you got Trey Miguel rolling out, hit him with a couple of body shots there, and some couple of roundhouse kicks with another double stomp. And he goes for the pin, which I feel Stacks is going to kick out. So apparently they're still trying to get word on Steve Macklin and him explaining his side of the story, what transpired between him and Mike Santana, which I don't know what side of the story it is. But we do know that Steve Macklin attacked Mike Santana. So I'm interested to hear what he has to say. Maybe that'll come in the next couple of weeks. That could come tonight. Yes. So I can kind of confirm that the Twitch chat is much, much faster than the YouTube chat. So I don't know if you want to head over to Twitch, but it is definitely much, much faster. I'm trying to catch up with the YouTube chat over here. I know MDB said some things. Do I even read what MDB has to say? Absolutely not. But no, MDB said something about, that Bailey was the women's champion, won the Royal Rumble. I did mention those things. I did mention women's champion, not the Royal Rumble, but we know how she got to become women's champion at WrestleMania. I did mention that, but we also have to mention that reign was trash and all she fought was basically Nia Jax the entire time. But regardless of that, I do think Bailey may have hit a ceiling in WWE, and that's kind of what I meant by that. And probably didn't say it in the best of phrases and words there. I do think she may have hit a ceiling. And yes, we do have to give the new girls some time if the new girls can step up. You're definitely right there. So, no need to disagree because I actually do agree with you. As Stacks went for a pin and he kicked out. So, Trey Miguel kicked out, which we need Trey Miguel to win. We need Trey Miguel to win. Oh, Trey Miguel with another pin. Oh, that was close. That was close. Damien says, I'm looking forward to Center and Saint. Oh, shell shocked. Is he going kick to the face? Oh, that's it. 1, 2. Thank God. Trey Miguel retains, is still international champion as it should be. Yes, Damien, that match is happening tonight. It's Saint and Center versus BDE and I believe Rich Swann. That should be great. BDE so far, what he's done in TNA, at least match wise, has been great. His match against Eric Young was really good at No Surrender. I was actually really excited to see that. So I'm with you there. I'm kind of excited to see that match tonight. We got Carlos in the ring. Carlos handing over the green international title to Trey Miguel, which I actually like that strap. I don't know if I like it more than the blue strap, but I really like that strap. Not gonna lie. That looks pretty nice. That looks pretty nice. Uh
Speaking of looking pretty nice,
yes.
but you thought that you were gonna, the guy who just got the custom belt was gonna lose the belt the night he got the custom belt.
Dude, I mean, I don't know. They like to give all their titles to WWE, so maybe.
Well, you lost it, so you can turn around and win it back and everything. But yes, again, folks, we're not trying to tell you to run away from YouTube or anything. If it's more of a StreamYard issue, if we do still, hopefully we'll see you pop through and everything. I know there's still been a few, but Twitch is shameless plug, unshameless plug now for the Twitch, I guess. Then this is the perfect timing of after YouTube done brokered on Tuesday, but follow us on Twitch too. You always got the backup that way and everything. We still got you that way. And again, right now seems to be the one that's coming through on our end.
Yeah, and it's coming through quite fast. So if you want to switch over to Twitch, you know where we are. We can click on your chats. So, and as I'm looking at the YouTube chat over here, Boston likes the green strap on the title because he hated the blue strap for a long time, but then he came around to it and he really liked it. But off the bat, he likes the green strap. The green strap looks nice, and I kind of want it now.
Well, he said it was like the slime from Nickelodeon, but would it be it? Does it not hit the same because the Rascals are another place of like this feels weird. It's like the parents got a divorce and I can only see my brothers every weekend and everything like that kind of vibe now. A little bit of with Trey, Miguel, and TNA, and then we get the Rascals are apparently just collision talent at this point.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't hit the same, but he's been in this position before, Trey, where everybody kind of left him and he was there. He stuck around with TNA. He's came out and said that TNA is his home. But I guess the better question
was it Trey when you signed with another company and they said, "Man, is that when it became your home again?"
Well, I don't. You probably are onto something there, but I think I may have a better question. Does Trey Miguel get a bigger push than all three of the Rascals in AEW?
Well, you're probably not wrong because it's 1 versus 3, but I mean, I don't know if there's one out of those 3. Would it be Desmond Xavier that you would push the most, or is it Myron Reed? Because I mean, Myron Reed, Wrestling Revolver pretty much built their promotion around him.
Right. And then
does that lead though? Side question. Does that lead AEW to sign Killer Kelly, who's now a free agent?
That could lead to that. That's actually a good one right there. Kelly going to AEW. I also feel like Myron Reed would be the one to break out of that group and be the solo star. If I can remember correctly, the rumors had it that Myron Reed, they wanted to sign Myron Reed, but the other
they wanted one, but you got to
the other exactly. I can definitely see Myron Reed being the breakout in AEW for them. And then you can still keep Dez and Zachary Wentz as, a tag team.
But too. Dez was the breakout in WWE.
He was. And then, he was the breakout in WWE. Then Zachary had those stuff that came out about him. I don't know much about it.
Yeah, which is why we can't keep Trey Miguel, right?
Yeah, it's so.
Well, I'm just gonna call it a
no, because you call it a state of state because it doesn't make sense.
Getting weird about shit and everything. Of we can't keep Myron Reed for a situation that's already been resolved and apologized and everything, and was perceivably minor at best. Versus Zachary Wentz. Nah, you're good. We won't sign your girlfriend, your wife, or anything like that because of the damn near the exact same shit she's done, but you're good. Huh?
Yeah, it does. The math doesn't math. The math ain't mathing. And I think that's just the simple way you can put it. The math ain't mathing.
That's the best way to put it out there. But Bradley, okay, guys. Yeah, I mean, you know what we know, and you know what we're saying, but it's again,
Exactly.
it's math, and
You know what you know, we know what we know, so we all know things together.
facts. And then you got the facts of life, but yeah, it reminds me a bit of the whole Briscoe situation that got really stupid unnecessarily, respectfully.
Yeah.
And going back to the original point, Trey's going to be a star in TNA. He's going to be a guy that is going to be a marquee name, and they're going to build around it. EY here just attacking cameramen.
He says he has something to say.
I kind of do like the shirt though. The cleanse is coming. Pause. Especially with the ball man. He just so like, Mr. Clean.
Right? He said we're gonna save this place.
It's so funny to me to look at remembering EY as plucky, blonde, spiky haired, mohawky EY and everything. And now he's bald-headed sanity. And it's still the same voice. Like the voice hasn't changed. It still sounds like he smokes a carton of Marlboros a day kind of voice. But
I mean,
this works so much with him, and it's so surprising that you're telling me superhero EY. It's like saying how Nikki Cross there, almost a superhero, if she was like a serious cult leader right now.
Exactly. I mean, and at one point, Eric Young was one half of the Knockouts Tag Team Champions in his career. I mean,
what? Do tell. Do tell.
ODB. He was one half of the Knockouts Tag Team Champions with ODB. So if you ever hear commentary say, this is the longest all-female team of Knockouts champions, they're referring to ODB and Eric Young being one.
What are the rules in TNA of we have Knockouts titles, a women's tag team title?
It only happened
have to be won by a woman. We have an X Division title that's a cruiserweight title that has a weight limit, unless you're Samoa Joe or like Matt Morgan and shit too, and everything. Like, what?
It only happened one time.
These rules.
Yeah, only happened one time. It was with those two. I believe it was in the Spike TV era. But I have to go back and rewatch it because I want to know how they got to that point of him becoming a Knockouts Tag Team champion.
Lack of booking, lack of creative. I don't know, but I'm getting Tessa out here right now, and they're replaying Jody Threat dumping out Tessa. So it's Tessa Blanchard, Foxy out there. Why am I blanking on her name?
Victoria Crawford.
And I almost called her Vivica Fox, but I know. But who is the other woman out there with them? And this is KJ's match of the night right now of Tessa Blanchard versus Jody Threat.
It is Myla Grace out there with them. They don't have an official like group name yet, but the internet community has been calling them the Diamond Collective, which I feel like is a cool name for the three of them. But
fair enough.
So how we got to this match is at No Surrender during that battle royal. They thought Jody Threat was eliminated, but her feet were under the ropes and she was hanging on by a thread. And then she came in at the end when Tessa thought she had won. And Jody dumped her out. And then I think later on during the night, Tessa confronted Jody and was basically saying, I should be in the position you're in. And this is kind of how we got to this match tonight.
There you go. Well, who are you taking in this match tonight?
Oh, easily Jody Threat. I'm taking her because she's the number one contender, and I feel like she shouldn't lose being the number one contender. But we'll see. We'll see what TNA does.
Well, Boston saying Jody Threat needs to chill the fuck out. Well, because she was up there hailing it on the top rope.
That's another definition of over the top is Jody Threat and how she acts when she comes out during.
No, so you think Thea Hale's like super over the top and everything? Like you must despise Thea Hale on TNA.
I haven't really seen much of Thea Hale, so I need to go back and look. And I don't hate Jody Threat for like. I don't hate like
You ever
Jody.
watched the movie Over the Hedge? Oh, who am I asking? You haven't even watched Austin Powers. You ever watched the movie Over the Hedge?
That I don't know
exactly. It's one of them lovely DreamWorks animated movies. I'm sure this is a reference that 3 people will get. But there's a squirrel in there that's he's a goddamn sugar addict and everything, like all the aerosol cheese and all that. And that's the hail of just spastic ass fucking squirrel that looks like they have rabies, but it's just because they have like frosting around their lips and everything.
Okay, so I'm looking up Over the Hedge. I definitely have not seen it, but it's a cartoon.
I'm not surprised. Trust me, you're still getting shots because you haven't watched Austin Powers out here.
And still won't.
That needs to be, that's a members only stream. We need to put some sort of like a certain stream has to get like 100 likes or something like that, or we got to get 10,000 subs and Anthony will do a watch party. Something. Well, we're doing tattoos at 10,000, so you can choose the threshold or something. But we got to do a watch party, and we'll do selective ones for the Austin Powers movies.
So if we get to 10,000, I have to watch Austin Powers. Is that what? All
right, we'll do that. We'll do that.
I don't know if I want to do that though. I don't know.
Well, me and KJ have already signed up. We're getting the logo tattooed on us when we reach 10K. So there you go. Help us reach 10K. But yeah. And if you want to watch Anthony suffer through, do I make you Randy, baby?
See, I would think about getting a tattoo if I wasn't allergic to everything under the sun when it comes to my skin. I mean, I'm allergic to face paint. So what would permanent ink do to me? Pretty much probably kill me. So I don't know.
Fair enough. So like I said, we're in the processes. We'll work out the tier system out there of how long we're gonna get through. Not gonna lie, tattoos for 10K subs is hella commitment for 10K. Well, we're hella committed, my guy. What do you say? We live this shit. But yeah, this Jody chick is very extra. I'm not too familiar with her, but she needs to relax during her entrance. We're just gonna be the Jody Threat Hater Association out here.
I like Jody Threat, but it was like
KJ never picks her. That's her least favorite Canadian out here.
It was like when she was in a tag team with Danny Luna Spitfire. Danny Luna was the calm to her craziness, so it equaled out. But her being by herself and she coming out running out like a chickmunk with her head cut off, it's like, okay, that's a bit much, but we understand.
See, and you mentioned Danny Luna and them being Spitfire, and I'm a big Danny Luna fan of. I even wanted her more than Jody Threat when they were a tag team and all of that. But I won't stand for some Jody Threat slander, especially compared to Tessa Blanchard, my guy.
I like Jody Threat. I just don't like her entrance. I'm not really slandering her. I'm slandering the entrance,
which is her doing her entrance. I'm not slandering you. I'm just slandering you when you clock into work, my guy. Fuck.
Oh, nice German by
Damien. Can we watch SmackDown and House of Glory because Zilla is facing MJF? Trust me, I've already ran that by through the proper channels that I need to, and we will be very much keeping an eye on House of Glory, at least for the very most with that match of MJF taking on Zilla Fatu, because Christ almighty, that might be the last time MJF has a title win as champion if he's going to take on Hangman Adam Page out there with the Cody stipulation. So you're going to tell me that MJF's championship reign was he beat Bandito, he beat Brody King, and he beat Zilla Fatu, and then who he faced somebody else on the Indies, I think. But those are his 4 title wins, 2 of which only happened in AEW. I digress.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's crazy. His title reign this time around is just like, what are we doing here? But we'll see.
Right.
So there's a disqualification because Jody was about to, I think, hit her finisher on Tessa. And I think it was Myla Grace who kicked Jody in the face.
Yeah. And then Jakara Jack. No, Christ,
that's
not even her. Not even Amara Sade. I was hoping for something.
Harley Hudson and Mila Grace. Okay. Harley Hudson. I couldn't get the other one, but that's Harley
Oh,
Hudson.
you're
Harley
good.
Hudson.
Harley Hudson. So Pink, I'm just like a pill. And Mila Grace, the daughter of Jordan Grace out there.
Right? And Ariana Grace, the daughter of Jordan Grace, maybe.
Well, no, because Santino used the Cobra.
Ah, that's true.
I don't seen the tweet. I don't check the files. BS, I'm in commercial break right now, so
yep.
Taco reminded me. Yeah, it was Alec Price. Oh, that's when they signed Buster and the Brain to AEW, which they've been used all of 2 times, which is still I think somehow more times than Ace Austin, but yeah.
So the Zilla for 2 match, is this on Triller tomorrow?
Yes, that will be again #not sponsored. And we talked before we went live of I feel like we need to be an investor sponsored by fucking Triller at this point, at least for the past year or so. But so House of Glory, Christ, you're gonna make me mess up the name of the pay-per-view that it's called, but it's House of Glory's newest show tomorrow. Starts at 7:00. We'll be keeping an eye on it. I know Private Party's been advertised. Then there's been a tag match advertised. I don't know against who. Of Andrade versus Charles Mason for the House of Glory World title has been advertised. And the biggest thing was MJF taking on Zilla Fatu, which I think this show was supposed to be the show that had Zilla Fatu taking on Lance Anawahi on it. And then Lance, I don't know the real reasons behind it, but Lance pulled out of the match, all of that. And then MJF's now kind of gone on this, like, not a Tully Blanchard of being Harley Race kind of vibe of like, I'm going to still defend the AEW championship on the indies, that he's being the advocate for AEW and all these independent shows. And so he's taken on Zilla Fatu and cut a great promo going at Zilla of the whole bloodline, because a lot of people question, why isn't Zilla in WWE? Why isn't Zilla getting the tryouts and everything? You're getting, all these other independent wrestlers that come to the tryouts for WWE. No Zilla.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's not in the mix in WWE yet. I'm kind of shocked at that. I thought he would have kind of been there by now, but maybe soon. But yeah, I'm looking at the House of Glory event tomorrow, so there's no turning back. I can see why you would mess that up, because I would mess that up too.
It's
I
like TNA pay-per-views. You remember Sacrifice, Bound for Glory, all of that. So you remember Sacrifice because of Scott Steiner and everything,
right?
Yeah,
because I would have called it Turning
Amazing
Point.
Red will be in action too as well. I can't remember.
Oh, I might have to watch this tomorrow.
Again, House of Glory. Again, #not sponsored. Could be sponsored. We could at least do commentary or creative for them for some of these indies, but we try and pay attention to as many of the independent promotions as we can. We've even sponsored a few or matches from few, but Wrestling Revolver, House of Glory, GCW, JCW, Jersey Championship Wrestling, a subsidiary of GCW, and JCW Juggalo Championship Wrestling, I think, are all promotions I would watch and do watch outside of the big 3, the big 4. If you want to include New Japan as a bit, well, then you got AAA. There's so much goddamn wrestling, and then there's Maple Leaf Pro. There's so much goddamn wrestling.
And AAA has been doing some fun stuff over the past couple of weeks. I've been watching. I didn't watch last week's episode, so I have to watch last week's episode before this week's episode. But AAA has been doing some great things. It's just a lot of wrestling all around. I've also,
and this is where you need to come to for your home for all the wrestling, because trust me, we're the only ones naming off and watching all these wrestling promotions and everything. We can speak to who's over there, who's over there,
right? And from myself, I've been watching like the entire Access TV era of TNA.
I still don't even know how you find that. I couldn't even find it when it was live, let alone after the fact, my guy.
Well, it's all on the TNA Plus app now, so that's where
Fair enough. Okay, I
watching
thought
it.
you were out there like
Yeah.
Indianapolis Jones, like just
No,
by the
no. So
Access files.
I looked on Wikipedia to see when they started on Access TV, which was 2019. And so I've been watching that. I've watched 2022, 2021. So I have 2019 and 2020 left. I finished 2019 actually earlier today while I was working. So I'm officially on 2020. And then I'll be done. But yeah, it's a lot. It's just a lot of wrestling.
And don't forget Stardom and NWA and Marigold. And I do watch the JCW, which even it's funny because the NWA had to buy airtime on JCW. How funny is that to think that Billy Corgan had to buy ad time from the Insane Clown Posse for his wrestling promotion on their wrestling promotion? What is 2026?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
As we are back with TNA with MDB, BDE, and Rich Swann.
I feel like I'd almost rather watch BDE instead of MDB or MDB instead of BDE. I said it the wrong way. But how do you feel? I know he's talented. He's got some this, he's got some that, and everything. How do you feel about BDE TNA?
I feel like for BDE, TNA is a place for him to kind of continue to develop his craft for one day. Eventually, he may show up in the big leagues like AEW and WWE. So for right now, I think this is a perfect fit. The first couple of matches he has had have been good. They've been really good. I've really enjoyed them. The one with Eric Young at No Surrender was really good. So I just kind of want to see where it goes, where they kind of put him as the year goes on. But I think
it's a good there, Logan Paul. I know that is a terrible analogy on one aspect because don't buy Pokemon cards off of known scammers, kids. But also at the same time, YouTube sensation of he's somebody that people will know outside of who knows wrestling.
Yeah, and he can bring some of those fans that he had on his social media platforms over to TNA. So I can put him in the same like of a Logan Paul adjacent. Maybe not as big as Logan Paul, obviously, but definitely in the same conversation.
Fair enough. Well, I got Rich Swann and BDE taking on Sinner and Saint.
Yes, as I take a pause here and leave you guys with Nick and Nick only.
Anthony's got to go figure out whether he's a sinner or a saint right now with his pause for the cause out here. But yeah, now people are gonna. I need Anthony to help me remember who's sinner and who's saint. I guess I'm gonna go with the bald guy, probably the sinner. But BDE right now in the ring. I do think it's a nice little. It's an extra bit of attention and an extra little bit. That's why I think it's even cool that on taped episodes, they're still gaining viewerships. They're still gaining traction when most instances they would be losing traction right now. So I think it works. And again, they're not like, oh, you've got a social media platform. Let me make you world champ right now. He's not, David Arquette out here. But and he shows he can go. I mean, honestly, I think one of my fan service matches to me personally was seeing Chris Danger versus BDE in Wrestling Revolver. But I digress. Bradley and Tree, BDE and Rich Swann for the win. Yes, folks, let me know who you got for this match. But you got Sinner and Sander. You got Swann and BDE. I was trying to think of clever names for either team, and it slipped my mind. Russ Rance, hell no, he's not better than. No one said he was. And I think Logan's got more of the size, more of the. I don't want to say even been involved into it or anything like that. I know that it's kind of comparing an apple to a fucking pear or something like that, but it's still in the ballpark-ish. And I do, at least, as much as I dislike Logan, I will admit I do like the fact that he's pretty much gone full time with it now. He's more pro wrestler than content creator. It's GCW, the Collective, Heaven. Yeah, we've been a couple times through the whole Collective and everything like that. The Collective is honestly, again, you get me shilling for a company I don't even work for with Triller and GCW. Lauderdale, you know how to reach us, but the Collective is normally one of the best kind of packages you could get, pause, besides subscribing to us. When it comes to, especially around WrestleMania season, if you like independent wrestling, all of that, because they'll end up having all the other promotions like a Stardom or Marigold. I know they have JCW involved in that. Their JCW and the other JCW, they have their own shows of they. Oh, that was clever as shit as a getting rollover senton on a code breaker. But the GCW Collective is probably the best bang for your buck outside of us because we don't cost you anything. But when it comes to, especially around WrestleMania season, and if you like independent wrestling, and again, hashtag not sponsored. There you go, Triller and Brett Lauderdale. You got a promo out of me. Got that one. Sinner and Saint for the win. Where do you see the talented Kevin Blackwood ending up? His promotion, Progress Wrestling, is ending. Progress is really ending. I hadn't even, that's damn near halfway news to me. And it could just be me being a typical ignorant American, but if Progress is wrapping it up, then, man like DeReese and everything like that, if those guys are going to be definitely looking for some homes. If that's a lot of talent to hit the open market. So that's it's a little almost like the halfway New Japan Exodus. Springboard cutter from BDE. Back handspring cutter from Rich Swann. That's got to 1, 2. So I am right. So bald guy who would be a villain that gets beat up in a John Wick movie just got dumped out of is Sinner, and then long-haired of not Alec Price is Saint. But what was I even fully going on about? Oh, Prestige Wrestler. Oh, Prestige, not Prestige. Prestige. Okay, Prestige. Yeah, Progress is a whole different fucking thing, my guy. Prestige. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Okay, I did see about the Prestige Wrestling closing its doors. Well, and Christ, even TPW closed its doors. I think the end of last year. Got me all scared. Progress is closing the doors. Jesus, you're telling me that's like saying 1, 2, 3. What the fuck? So, I mean, they're making BDE earn their stripes out here of Sinner and Saint just pinned BDE out here. But yeah, if Prestige is folding, then it's like I said, it feels a bit more like no, I don't even want to say if other companies folding, but that's an interesting, kind of talent that I think other independents will surely swoop up. I thought you were talking about Progress. That's one of those. That's a pillar falling. That's like staying a Ring of Honor. We're all shaking hands now. Everybody love everybody. Aren't Sinner and Saint supposed to be with EY? Where's Anthony to correct me when I'm wrong? He's good at that. My favorite couple, arguably right now in pro wrestling, definitely in TNA, of Steph D. Laner and Mance Warner out here. There's your future Knockouts Women's Champion, and there's your future World Champion right there. Needs to be a fucking thing. Who the fuck was that guy? I don't even care because he eats through. Oh, going on AJ Francis. Ooh. Are we going to get Manson and AJ throwing hands? Oh, yeah. So I'm not I think this is a good matchup. I mean, these are two guys that honestly I would put are upper mid card is the best way I could halfway put it. I'm saying these are guys that could challenge for either a mid card title or could be challenging for the world title right now. Depending on once you kind of flush that situation out with AJ Francis and Mance Warner out here. But let's go. I'm never gonna knock some Mance Warner on my TV. And seeing Stephanie Lander out there too. She's finally back in action. Let's go. Prestige Wrestling's final pay-per-view is tomorrow. There you go. We've nailed it down because initially I thought it was Progress, and that's a bit different because that's like a huge promotion in the UK. So, Prestige having its final show tomorrow as I'm in commercial break right now. It'll be interesting. I'm not super familiar with it. I know it's one of the more, I believe it's a West Coast promotion. But there is enough talent. Just think of your favorite indie wrestler and realize that there's probably 10 people signed to an active roster that has a cable deal that isn't getting used. That's the level of talent that there is right now in wrestling. I don't want to sound out of pocket saying this, but is it a little bit like it's almost like the NFL versus college football to an extent of like, think about your favorite college football player. They might honestly be like a third stringer in the NFL, depending on how the situation plays out. Them's really the brakes a little bit with it. Do have to remember that not everybody can get pushed at the same time, but that's why I like seeing companies. I don't want to see a company full. That's why I like seeing a company like AEW still existing, still going after 6 years, and allegedly thriving after 6 years. What seeing TNA get its footing, get its founding of actually prestige worldwide, but get its founding on a major cable network. Of the more doors that are open in pro wrestling, the better pro wrestling ends up being because iron sharpens iron. The more you have to compete with somebody else to be better than them, the better it makes you. That's my opinion. It's actually Judas Icarus, Sinner, and Say, versus Kev Blackwood in main 3. You had me in the first half. You lost me in the second half. But there you go. Mance and Stephanie Lander versus Cross and Scarlett. Please give that to me now. Give me care. I know he's out there, and MLW is another promotion we haven't even talked about. Cross is MLW World Champion. If Karrion Kross and Scarlett were signed in TNA right now, how fast would the WWE's just gonna backdoor Kross back in conversation when that would how much would that be? There is so much talent out there in pro wrestling. I love seeing, and we should keep championing all the other opportunities for this talent to have a way to put to use their craft, I should say. Of example with how somehow I don't like the fact that TNA is taped, but they keep gaining viewers every week. That's amazing. I got that one. Main event, main event of what? Deadlock Pro Wrestling has closed their doors this year. Yes, I did bring them up as well. AJ Francis says TNA World Champ. Really, this is where I really need Anthony to show up because Anthony did a whole video, and I will admit, I know I done called him flop dollar and everything like that, but he's a guy that has very much found his niche, hitched his wagon to TNA to where he can kind of really show and hone his craft out there. Of he's really kind of found his vibe out there. As I have the new system. They need a new name instead of just the new system. With all the marketed hoodies and winter hats, but confronting the Hardys backstage right now. The Hardys will delete you. As the Righteous show. The Righteous, just please put them on somewhere. Please, I don't. The Righteous is a team I was so excited for, and I feel like I regret the Righteous in 2026 or something. I don't. They were challenging the Hardys, and now they're friends, and I don't even know how we got to be friends. And I just sit here in fantasy book of them with Cross, them with if the Wyatts were done properly, if Bray was still around, what could have been. Even if you sat there, they Ring of Honor had it almost to a point to where you had Elijah with the Righteous. That's a license to print money onto itself as well. Because, I mean, let's be honest, the Hardys are all the way but looking out the back door. Every time they get interviewed, oh, we're still in talks with WWE. Oh, WWE is very interested. Oh, we have an ongoing discussion with WWE. They are waiting to get a call to fucking leave, I feel. So, as I have Elena Black coming out, and how fitting they shoot this woman from the fucking rafter shot. Oh, God, they came in close. Pause. But just go back to the rafter shot. Leave this shit blurry. We don't need to see this. But Elena Black out here right now, folks. And I'll ask the chat. You can let me know of whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, trying to click on anybody. And again, I apologize if I missed your comment. Trust me, it's due more towards technical difficulties than incompetence. But are you excited that Cora Jade is back in pro wrestling? Did you ever want Cora Jade to come back to pro wrestling? Did you even remember Cora Jade was in pro wrestling? Because if I could, I'd check all of the above. Oh. This is, I know I mentioned it before. If there's the whole, is there heel heat or is there, I don't with this heat. And I feel like this screams of, I don't fuck with you. Even like, remember when they tried to make Eva Marie a thing again? This is what this kind of feels like. Of I don't fuck with you. I don't even know if I can fully put my finger on what exactly it is. I don't know if it's just she has no goddamn actual emotion cutting a promo and just she keeps doing this all the time, and that it's like a trigger warning. She's got goddamn gum. I'm nitpicking as a fuck, but it's not a good promo at all. I'm coming for that title. You've had maybe one match, if that, in this company. You haven't done Cora's promos a week. They seem not believable. Absolutely, my guy. Thank you. And thank you, Jakara H. Christ out here. Mara Sade just saving us, please, from what was Cora Jade of the jaded goddamn effect out there. But in ring, the most I know in Cora Jade for is a goddamn paper mache skateboard. So, no. Jakara Jackson, Mara Sade, 100% should absolutely be. Yeah, she's talking in circles because she doesn't know how to cut anything. She doesn't know how to get to a point because she doesn't have one. Jakara Jackson, Mara Sade, 100% should be, if at the minimum in the position she is, if not challenging for the world title. She is, to me, somebody that if I'm TNA, if I'm Carlos, I'm getting all the way behind. Pause intended. But that I could build my women's division around the whole I don't have stars conversation. You have a star sitting right now in your ring, and it's not one that you saw. Well, technically, it is one that's signed from WWE, but it's the one that's been out there wrestling Ryan Nemeth, not the one that's, you were basically handed. Oh, my fucking. So what? So because you have no athletic skills, that's such a stupid angle to take in a promo. Oh, you're so great because you. No, we're not getting yum yums because only half of this deserves yum yums right now. No, but yeah, AR1. My only reason to watch is Jakara Jackson, Mara Sane, absolutely. But yeah, you're gonna sit there and you got handed everything because you're athletic, because you're talented, because you're. I'm great for putting her over it, but you're just admitting you have none of that shit. Yeah. Night and day. I've had this discussion. I will still stand on this. This will still be a hill I will die on as much as I love Lash Legend. Why did you release Jakara Jackson? Why did you not have them? You had Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson almost in the same position, if not in a better position, than you have Lash and Nia right now. If anything, Lash and Nia is more just a Lash moment, which is fine, but you could have had those two. You had the tag team division and you blew it up and rebuilt it when you already had the foundation. You had the foundation and one tile was out of place, so you fucking demolished it instead of adjusting. That's how I feel. But yeah, Mara Sade, Jakara Jackson, thank you. You have saved us from what was 3 minutes of my life that I can't get back, which was Elena Black cutting a promo. I don't know if I need almost to like do a tier list in my head of who I dislike more. Wendy Chu, Elena Black, or the Bella Twins. I feel like there's somebody else. But a man I love has come back running into my arms.
Mara saved us in that segment. Thank God for Mara Sade, Jakara Jackson for saving us in that
Jesus
segment.
is Jakara out there.
I don't know what she was talking about. She was talking in circles. Ain't nobody got time for Elena Black. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Is she out there just cutting a Moxley Death Riders promo?
But two things that I found out while I was on my pause. One thing, Deonna Purrazzo did an interview, and she talked about how she is disappointed with her championship run right now. She actually said, I think I'm a little disappointed to not have defended my championship yet. I'm constantly trying to, yeah, she has the women's pure championship.
Oh my fuck.
So she says, I'm constantly trying to rack my brain of like, what else can I do and what more can I do and how much more of myself can I give? And for that not to be reciprocated in any environment, not just in Ring of Honor, is really defeating for me. So I really feel for Deonna Purrazzo.
If the case could ever be made from there are too many championships in pro wrestling, it is the fact that Deonna Purrazzo is a champion right now in Ring of Honor. I've forgotten it, and that it's not even defended at all, not even mentioned, not even used. Like the speed title gets used. Are you kidding me? That the Ring of Honor Pure Women's Championship is such an afterthought.
And the only reason why,
sir, may I have some more matches?
And the only reason why I know that there's a pure women's championship is because Deonna Purrazzo has it, because I'm a big fan and I try to follow what she does. But other than that, I wouldn't have known that there was a pure women's championship. So
because was that the one that Red Velvet had before? Velvet Sky? What? No, Red Velvet. Yeah,
I think so. Let me look.
You're good. But yeah, she said. Why did I start she shows with that? She saved the Sade. That's too many sounds.
Oh, it looks like I'm trying to find it, but Oh, that's why I can't find it because I'm on the news section of Google and I'm trying to look for
Uh,
it.
but, oh, Nick, I think this is the best thing for Jakara, to be honest with you. I think she can make a name for herself and come up better. I'm gonna briefly try and step away here, sir, but I'll let you of well, because I've mentioned this and I know we've talked about this of Flash and Jakara were a great tag team. Why you have to go and fuck up a good thing?
Yes, and me
Now
and
it does help Jakara and it helps Lash. But I really wish you could have just kept the good thing.
me and other Nick on the channel multiple times mentioned that we wanted to see Lash and Jakar challenge for the Knockouts titles, which I don't think they did at all. But as Nick takes a pause here and we're charging towards the main event, we got about 40 minutes left. I mean, 40 minutes left, 20 minutes left. I'm looking at the number 40 and saying 40, but thinking 20. I got 20 minutes left. We got the big casket match. As let me see if I can put that on the screen here. Um, we got the guitar case casket match between Elijah and Mustafa Ali, which I believe Tina hinted that this ends the feud between those two. So I'm pretty excited for that. I did mention that there was two things while we're on commercial break. There was two things that I found out on my pause. One was the Deanna Perrazzo thing, and if anybody ever watched the show The Last Shipped or Grey's Anatomy, Eric Dane passed away, which was kind of shocking to find out while I was on break. So RIP to Eric Dane. But yeah, I think right now when it comes to Jakara or Mara Shade in TNA, I think this is a great fit for her. I think she can flourish, prosper, win the TNA Knockouts championship some type of way. In the near future, we still got to get through Danny Luna. We still got to get through, potentially a Tessa holding the title too. But Jakara Mara Shade definitely championship material, and I think she can really do something in the Knockouts division. When it comes to Elena Black, I'm just not there. I've never been a Cora Jade fan. Me and a friend of mine argued about that a lot of times because he was trying to convince me that Cora Jade was actually good, and I just never saw it. And tonight, with whatever she was saying on the mic, it wasn't there. It wasn't hitting at all. So I'm going to look over here a little bit for the chat because the chat is not up to date for me on the StreamYard. But let me see. Jose says Sade said I can't even say it. It's a lot of S's in that. So I'm not even gonna repeat it. But Paul Carpenter says multiple actors have died already this year. It's only been 2 months. I know, and the Eric Dane thing literally shocked me. My brother sent it to me. We're all big fans of we used to watch Grey's Anatomy together, and me and my oldest brother liked The Last Ship. That was a really good show that I think actually ran on TNT. So Danny Luna versus Lei Ying Lee next week on TNA Impact. And they did mention that Danny Luna has a championship opportunity. AJ Francis versus Mance Warner. Yes. Mickey James, Ash by Elegance face to face next week, which leads to Atlanta. I'm calling it. I'm calling it down. It's happening in Atlanta. Jada Stone takes on Tasha Steelz. The Hardys and the Righteous take on the System. So a really good card next week for TNA as we lead into the Atlanta Live episode March 5th. So TNA management has asked I'm looking at him, Tom Hannafin, I couldn't think of his name, to interview Mike Santana next week on TNA. So this is going to be exciting. As the chat has kind of caught up a little bit. Boston says WWE does not need any more women talent. I digress this. We've talked about the Jordan Grace thing and how she may not be I don't even want to get into it, but the WWE has a lot of women talent there, and they have a lot of good women talent there. And trying to fit everybody on screen, trying to do the most with all of them, I don't know. I don't know. As they bring out the guitar casket, which is very, very huge, Mustafa Ali comes out. I already thought we had the entrances already, but it looks like we haven't had the entrances just yet. Um, but that is a huge guitar casket. As Mustafa Ali comes out, and then we will have, I'm pretty sure, Elijah come out next. So I'm excited for this. This is they're probably giving them about 15 minutes ish as Nick is back, but I'm
Yeah,
excited
I
for
look
this.
like the bastard child of Elijah and Tony D'Angelo right now. But you mentioned Jordan Grace and Tosh Steele. How you doing? But I still think that there's the potential she's the WrestleMania match for Jade Cargill.
You really think
If
that?
Bianca's now on the outside, I've pitched this whole thing. That's the existing feud. I know people have thrown out a Rhea Ripley or this or that. Maybe it's a Tiffany, but I don't know if I even want to see that match back again.
Has she
Jordan Grace is
qualified for
your
the chamber?
existing feud.
Has she
Continue it
qualified
on.
for the chamber yet?
Who, Grace?
Yeah, Grace.
Not that I know of, but I mean, there still always could be I feel like
A
there's
triple
still going to
threat?
be a last minute somebody gets in there because you're going to have the one qualifier, and then you normally have like everybody who's lost a qualifier. And even then, it could end up being a triple threat or something like that. Could you
I
get Jordan
didn't
Grace
think
and
about
Tiffany
that.
Stratton versus Jade Cargill? Because we're not going to get Bianca. I think it's safe to say I still wonder what Bianca was doing waiting this long to have finger surgery. I don't know if this is her second, third, whatever finger surgery. I've never talked this much about a finger when it comes to wrestling
She
outside of the
actually
finger poke of doom, but yeah.
She actually brought that up today, Bianca. She was, I guess, maybe she was trying to avoid surgery, but she was going to like physical therapy and some other things over the past like 8 months that really led to the decision just to have surgery.
You know what I would have probably given up on that like 4 months in? I would have said, hey, you know what? Give me the thing that's going to take like 2 months and I'm good to go for sure versus maybe this will work.
Yeah, I'm
Not
trying
trying to
to
say don't chase your dreams or anything like that type of shit, but
yeah,
like
so it was
you're
yeah,
telling me a
definitely
finger held you up this much?
But yeah, it was definitely brought up today. I found it. She said 10 months post injury, 8 months of rehab, 5 doctors later, and we are finally here. And that was the surgery. So yeah. So she says she can finally kind of put this behind her.
I'm not a trained doctor or anything, and I'm not going to comment on people's medical records or anything, but the fuck.
Maybe she should have. Yeah,
fuck.
maybe she should have went the surgery route the first
Yeah,
time.
well, again,
But
if
I
she
don't
had
know.
another, again, I don't know
Yeah,
what the cases were. I didn't know the files or anything, but still, looking outside perspective, it does kind of look a little the fuck.
true. But now she's got the surgery, and then hopefully within the next 3 to 4
10
months,
months of recovery. Let's go, my guy.
we'll see her back in the ring.
But we do have the guitar case casket, the first of its kind out here.
Right. I feel like it's fitting for this feud, but the chairs are already set up because it's been a lot of guitars being smashed over people's backs this entire feud. So I think this is fitting. Hopefully, this is the end, and TNA has kind of back bump on the chairs.
Mustafa Ali takes a backdrop from Elias off the stage through the chairs, which again, I don't know if Ali set it up initially. I know he grabbed a chair from there. I don't know if it was set up before he did it, but it's a little bit one of those he who sets it up must go through it.
Exactly. No, you're right about that. I thought they were going to give us this match without a commercial, but we went back into commercial. So what that means is tomorrow on the TNA Plus app, I'm going to watch this match in its entirety with no commercials. So that's what I like about
this
the TNA
is so
Plus
you're
app.
going to watch right now. Elijah hop off the stage, probably he'll stand around while some of the referees check on Mustafa Ali. and then in like a minute or two, he'll kind of pick him up, and then he'll start walking him around the
Dragging back
ring and
into the ring.
everything.
Yeah. That's what I did with the AJ Francis and Rich Swann. I think it was was it a street fight? No, it was a no holds
Yes.
barred match. Same difference. But yeah,
Yeah.
I went back on the TNA Plus app and I was like, whoa, there's a lot more that happened in this match than that was not shared on the TV screen with AMC. So I'll definitely go back and watch.
Someone brought it up in the chat, and you brought it up while I was on my brief pause there and everything. And I know you did a whole video on it and everything, and I want to have you explain it to the masses of you got, everybody listening right now of why AJ Francis could be, should be, would be a world heavyweight champion in TNA.
Oh, like explain what the video I made?
Well, yeah, that's literally exactly what I said, because some people were, because I was saying how Mance Warner and AJ Francis going at each other. I was like, they're kind of two upper mid cardish guys, not to take away from either guy. Of the challenge for a mid card title, perfectly slots in. They start moving towards a world title, pretty much slots in there. So, and somebody said AJ Francis, world champion, really? So, I know you're the flag bearer, the flag waver for this. So I want to hear you tell it to the masses.
I think AJ Francis can be world champion in TNA, and I think he has the capability and the skills for it. And I think he's a really good heel too. But you have to he's more of a comedic heel, but you can put him in a place where he's more of a serious heel. And how you would do that would somehow you have AJ Francis become the number one contender to the world title. And because of how AJ Francis's gimmick is right now, Mike Santana doesn't take him very seriously. He kind of just rubs it off his shoulders. You have AJ Francis kind of call him out. Mike Santana doesn't pay attention till one day Mike Santana arrives at home and is attacked from behind. And to get his attention, you got Mike Santana tied up at the dinner table with AJ Francis having dinner with his daughter, antagonizing his daughter the entire time. And while you have that going on, as his daughter does not comply with what AJ Francis wants, he takes his aggression and his anger out on Mike Santana, because Mike Santana is not paying attention to his call outs. And now Mike Santana has to pay attention to his call outs. And now over the next couple of weeks after you have that segment, Mike Santana is pissed. And Mike Santana is calling out AJ Francis. You got back and forth promo battles between the two that leads to AJ Francis potentially even more antagonizing his daughter by showing up to Mike Santana's hood, showing up to his hometown, showing up to Mike Santana's daughter's school, and even playing the role of a substitute teacher just to get Mike Santana more and more frustrated and angry, which leads to their big explosion at Slammiversary or whatever big pay-per-view you want to have at that time. And then that leads to AJ Francis becoming world champion and shocking the world, not only becoming world champion, but beating Mike Santana and then running through the main event scene like a Moose and a Nick Nemeth and a Eddie Edwards until he eventually drops that title to Mike Santana again at Bound for Glory, after Mike Santana has a powerful redemption arc over the next, couple of months after Slammiversary. So if I was booking AJ Francis as a champ in TNA, that's how I would do it.
And everybody clip this right now, and then you tag AJ Francis in this, you tag Carlos Silva, you tag TNA Wrestling, you tag Mike Santana, because I was literally picturing the cut scenes as you were saying this, my guy, and everything. It reminded me of, I could see Mike Santana doing that, the whole, who's the gentleman that played Punisher and everything? Was a no.
Yeah.
That same kind of vibe, my guy. No, again, this is why we'll do this on the low, but we got them ideas out here. As I got a 450 through a table.
Elijah threw a table.
Ali threw a table because Elijah was in the way. Is this though a match? And well, I saw Boston bring it up at some point. I can't even find it right now, but would you have almost saved this match for a pay-per-view instead of a tape TV?
I can see that. I can definitely see it being this could have been at No Surrender instead of the whole Righteous versus Order 4 thing, right? But you also have to play the game with TNA with not being live either. So do you have to save some stuff for the recorded episode to keep those ratings kind of, steady or on the move to the rise? So it's kind of a catch-22, but I get what you're saying. I probably would have had this at No Surrender over that match.
Oh, the Colombian marching powder thrown into the face of
going. Oh, so he's taking
Ed Morrissey instead of W. Morrissey.
Yeah, he didn't take out the Great Hands because they've been banned from ringside. So he took out the Secret Service men that they have there.
Right. Well, and then Jobs to see. I love this about our community of instantly. That was me, Nick. Hi, I was the one questioning if AJ Francis should be world champ. Absolutely no. It's a great question, and I love.
Oh, Tasha Steele's up in a position to take a tombstone. Oh!
Steel chair.
A guitar to her back.
Steel guitar to Tasha Steele's.
Tasha Steele's been taking some crazy bumps over the past couple of months.
You forget Tasha Steele's is a former Knockouts Women's Champion.
That is true.
She's been a goddamn manager for Mustafa Ali.
That is true. She beat Mickie James. She beat the greatest. She calls herself the greatest that beat the greatest. So absolutely.
Right. So Ali just doing himself a favor and jumping in. We got like 4 minutes, so this might be the end of this. Oh
no.
The hands, the left and right.
Oh, it is the Great Hands. Oh. And a low blow from Ali to Elijah.
Should you have done like the old school Undertaker segments and seen Elijah building this guitar case casket and everything?
Those were some good segments back in the day. Absolutely. I agree with you. Build that over a couple of weeks. Yeah.
That's your whole segment. So if you see him I've got something special for you, and you don't know what he's doing, but he's out there, he's hammering away, strumming away, I go a certain way, but I even wouldn't mind seeing Elijah out there all, shirtless and sweating, throwing around the hammer and everything.
Absolutely.
You have him build this up, and then that's how you reveal it, debut it, and it feels unique to him, and it has that extra little personal effect to it.
Agreed. I agree with you. Oh, they got a door set up on the casket.
Oh, super kick.
While he has the guitar, which I feel like is going to be smashed over someone soon.
Well, we've already smashed a guitar. How many guitars are at ringside?
I guess a lot at this point. This is the second one.
It's like when you play like a 2K game, instead of grabbing like a steel chair or table from underneath there, you keep grabbing chairs.
Oh my God.
Back. I think that might have set a home run record.
Wow.
It is far. It is deep.
Oh, the Great Hands through a table. That was a nice shot.
All over it, and they're giving it away on TV. There's a door in front of put him through the door into the casket. That's going to be a fucking crazy spot.
Yes, that's perfect. That's how you do that. A choke slam?
That's what he does.
Yes.
He took the door out,
closed the casket.
They have the camera in the casket as that casket door closes. Elijah wins as we got
Elijah wins. That was good. I enjoyed that.
Took that like a fucking cartoon character though. His feet were just sticking out the top of the door.
That was a good match. I enjoyed that. For some reason, I didn't think it was going to be like, as aggressive as it was, but that guitar shot right there, that was tough.
Yeah, I think he's still trying to claim his jaw. Someone took that home as a souvenir.
That's a good casket match. I enjoyed that.
That's a match that, again, should be on a pay-per-view. Good on TNA. of, like you said, that's going to get some clicks. That's going to get some, hey, let me rewatch this even. Let me click after the fact.
Exactly. This is something I gotta try to clip out before I go to sleep here after stream.
Well, you got to make sure you include who you know you need to include, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, honestly, as we strung the banjo to go home here, but that's honestly, that might be the best TNA match I've watched so far in 2026.
I can get down with that. I can get down with that being the best one. Second best for me would probably be Cedric versus Moose that opened I think it was the third show or the second show of TNA. But yeah, that was a great match. This is what makes people tune in hopefully next week. That's why the ratings continue to go up. I'm just saying.
This is why TNA is, TNA. This is why Anthony is, Ringsider Anthony or Anthony by Elegance. I keep wanting to Mike Tyson it with the Anth by Elegance. The nemesis is.
I really enjoyed tonight's show. I think that was a step up from last week because we both felt like the go home show wasn't there. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just middle. But I really enjoyed tonight's episode. I really want to give it an 8, but I'm gonna do 7.5. I'm gonna be safe, and I'm gonna do 7.5.
Fair enough. As yes, folks, that does it for TNA. As we do take a rating out of 10 for all the shows, and Boston nails it a bit on the head here. What that match did was make new viewers want to tune in next week.
Stop stealing my lines.
Goddamn lootly.
But yes, the truth. And next week's card is stacked. I mean, we got AJ Francis versus your guy, Mance Warner, Jada Stone versus Tasha Steelz, the Hardys and the Righteous teaming up to take on the System, I think. So we got some, I think it's another match, but I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, we got some good ones coming up next week.
Absolutely. And that's still surprising is when I saw the guitar casket match announced, I knew they had announced it, but they didn't kind of place it anywhere or anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, that sounds like something that would be a pay-per-view. And you do that as you're getting towards the end of your kind of tape run too. So, hey, this is now how we send you into the next show, our last tape show, before we do a live show. So this is a great catapult for TNA, I think. Creatively, production, that one match, I think, was the show. Like, it was it was a good show. It was your run-of-the-mill, six between a 6 and a 7. I dare do the meme 6, 7. It was around there, and this pulled it into a 7.5 and 8. Dare 8.5s and everything.
I'm with you. Like, I really just want to say an 8. Like, the opener I thought was great. The opener with the Elegance brand, that was fun. Obviously, the ending was phenomenal. There was some hit or miss, and we could have did without the Elena Black segment. I'm gonna just be honest.
But Jesus H. Jakara saved us. Though.
Yes, Mara saved us. The Mike Santana segment was cool. But yeah, I'm with you. That main event really pushed it into that 7.5, 8, area. And then I forgot when I was going over the lineup for next week, the thing I was remembering wasn't a match, but Mickie James, Ash by Elegance, face to face next
week. Which means that they're gonna get physical.
Yes, which could lead to a match at the live episode.
Well, I was saying they could even just get physical then, my guy. Yeah.
So, yes. Oh, yes. And Boston reminded me, Stacks versus Trey Miguel. That was really good. So 3 great matches tonight, I feel. But yeah, you're right. That main event pushed it to that 7.5, 8, 8.5 area.
Now I want to see. I know you mentioned earlier, we left last week saying, maybe they gain a few, maybe they do, maybe it just kind of stays even. I think they're gaining viewers this week. We're what, 250 or so? I don't want to be a ratings guy. At minimum 260, I'd say 270.
We were at 254 this week, so I'm with you in the 260, maybe 270 range. I'm with you. And Jose, I'm just gonna go with Jose. He says, just say it's an 8, Anthony. Listen to your heart. It's an 8. Today was an 8. Tonight was an 8.
I was
I'm
waiting to click
excited.
through some of the other chats and everything because
But
I was
yes,
going to
go
give
ahead and
it an
click
8
through
and I was
the
going to pull this man along there, but we just cut to the line out here. We just cut to the tape. Oh, I'll give it an 8. And this is funny that the TNA guy is the one initially giving it the lower rating, but I think he might have felt he needed to, not show a bias. But I mean, you even running through the whole card of, again, that main event to me is what it's much like even a Dynamite. And I don't want to fully say it's the exact same, but the main event of Dynamite and the main event of TNA tonight were so impactful, pun intended, that it pretty much whatever else happened, it covers it up if you just let that ride. So tonight for me.
Yeah, and I feel like over the past couple of weeks, with the exception of last week's episode, I feel like they've been really having some good main event segments. So this week we had the casket match. One of the weeks, I believe it was the second live episode, we had the huge system turn on Moose. That was really fun.
The Macklin getting fired. Was that the same episode or was that two different episodes?
That was the episode after. That was the episode after. So that was, those parts of those episodes were fun. They've been killing the main event segments with the exception of last week. And I'll just include the exception of the first episode too, because that was a struggle according to everybody. But yeah, they've really nailed tonight. I really think they nailed it tonight. Like Boston said, this reeled in, could potentially reel in new viewers.
Well, we're going to put the nails in the coffin and we've got, if you're a new viewer, make sure and if you're a new viewer, an old viewer, some viewer, all the viewer, make sure you tune in tomorrow when we're here live and direct for Friday Night SmackDown. But Vance out here, 7.5, my rating just for this match alone, Nick Anthony. 7.5 just for that match. I mean,
Vance, that's perfect. I'm with you there. I know I'm a TNA fan, but I actually, from that main event, I've had chills since the end. That's how good it was to me. So I'm with you. I'm with you, Vance. I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, you got the goose pimples out there. You're doing the Dwayne and everything. But Mustafa Ali is definitely not walking with the lion. Yeah, I walk with the lions. Yeah, he's not walking anytime soon or fast. 7.5. Mustafa really lost, but good match.
That's a good point, Russell Rance, because I really thought Mustafa Ali was going to pick up the victory. And if this is the end of the feud, I'm not disappointed that he lost, but I guess this is where I go where do we go from here? But I have to remember, I said a couple of weeks ago on this channel that some of us, at least me, has to stop looking towards the future of what's next. So they might have something big for Mustafa Ali next. But I'm curious. I'm curious that they gave this to Elijah. So we'll see. But I'm with you, Rand. I'm a little confused of why he lost. So I'm with you there.
I mean, are we really confused that the guy who is
I know what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say.
Won the guitar case.
That's true.
I was out there petitioning of how this man should have been out there winning. It's more of a surprise. Well, I'll give you that. It's more of a surprise, like when the Undertaker would lose a casket match. But this is the first one we've done of this. If you would have had him out there building the case and everything, I think it was ready-made, delivered for Elijah.
You're right, especially because it was a guitar case casket match. You're absolutely right.
It's not just a casket match, guitar case casket match.
Exactly. That's why we need.
That's the guy who plays guitar to win the
guitar. That's why we need two
match.
heads here. That's exactly why we need two heads here. Because when I don't make sense of something, you make sense of something.
Yeah, and you just do a great job of shutting me down. There was times where I wasn't sure if I was right on nothing. We're the good hands out here. Are you right or left, or am I left or right? Or do we need to do this shit to figure out who far better than AEW. 7.5 out of 10, 7.5, 7.5. You might have been on the consensus there with the 7.5 initially. 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the show. I was going to go 7, but that main event deserves a whole other point itself. Yeah. That had an emphasis on it. Ash by Elegance, Mickey James face to face next week on TNA.
Yes. Yes. Y'all gonna be here live for me being super excited. I'm just
Anthony's
saying.
heart be still. You gotta let this man still gotta calm down for what he just watched. Don't get him hyped up
Exactly. And
already.
now I'm gearing up for next week and Mickey James and Ash by Elegance. Like and if that match happens in Atlanta, y'all will not hear the end of it from me. I'm just
I feel
saying.
like the parent of like he already had candy. You don't need to give this man cake already before he like let
He
him
doesn't
take a
need
nap.
cake
Let
and
him work
ice cream.
it off first. Don't hype him up already. He's already hyped as it is.
Exactly.
7.2575. Then you got the Jose with the Just Say It's an 8. Looks like KJ is in his own camp with last night's main event. He wasn't happy, but Anthony and Nick. Wait, what? Are you serious that man didn't enjoy that main event? I mean, the Aubrey Edwards, the fucking Clydesdale that needed to put herself in the middle of that fucking V trigger was terrible. But I think that's a match of the year candidate, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest. Of that match was a moment, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I agree with you.
I get really worried. And I'm last thing is we've still got 7.5 of I don't know if I missed anybody in the chat of all of that as we're right at 11:11. Make a wish. But
Yes.
my wish is that we're not going to potentially see Kenny Omega retire from pro wrestling either this year or the next year. I'm getting very worried that Kenny Omega is getting much, much, much closer to hanging it up than he is to, you know, winning a world title or potentially crossing to another company line or anything. I think we might be in it always sucks when you don't, I wish they'd tell you when you're in the good days so you could appreciate the good days. And so reminiscent about the good days, I think we're
Mhm.
past the good days of Kenny Omega, my guy.
I think we're nearing the door. I'm with you there, and with everybody like around his age. I don't know how like super old he is, but around his age, like AJ Styles and stuff, going the way of the door. I feel that he might be one in the next couple of years to be doing the same.
Yeah, we're in the end game now. Like I said, I'm worried of 2027. He's already said he's already had the diverticulitis issue. He's already kind of slowed down. He's already, you know, he's taken a step away after the swerve match because of scheduling conflicts already, but
Yeah.
he's already said this probably is pretty much his last run towards the AEW world title. I don't know how we switched from talking about TNA to praising Kenny Omega. But your final thoughts of chat's final thoughts of tonight and again, reminder, we're here tomorrow. We're here Sunday for Elimination Chamber prediction show, all three of us. But your thoughts on tonight of now, this is normally when you would expect people to start running away and the audience to drop off from a TNA from of they had their live debut and they keep still gaining and I think they're definitely going to gain after tonight.
Yeah, I think tonight was great for TNA. It really showed what TNA can offer to the fan base. I like I said, it was a really great show. I don't have much else to say. I think after the episode, the first episode that we had, I think when we didn't get that significant drop that was predicted in the second week, for me, it showed a sign of hope for TNA. And over the past, 3 weeks, 5 weeks in, tonight, I think was the 6th week for AMC. It just shows they're continuing to grow and grow. And like you, I think next week we'll see another jump after what we saw tonight. And I'm just here for the ride, and I'm just glad that TNA is in the mainstream again, and people are watching and looking to see what they have to offer. I don't know. This will be the last thing I say before we dip out here. I don't know who said it in the chat, but one person said that tonight he felt like this was the best episode so far in the AMC era, and I don't know if I could disagree with that. So tonight was great.
Absolutely. Well, and last few things, how fitting that your last thing is followed up by two things I want to click on from Boston, but I digress. Uh, I felt like I was watching something that didn't feel mailed in like a professional wrestling show, which is surprising, very much with it being a tape show of,
Yeah.
again, I know I knocked them initially for you can't even give me 3 live shows in a row. You can't even give me 3 push-ups, Johnson. Um, but they managed to just keep hitting it out of the park. This might feel like a bit of a home run derby because they've got the shit already lined up. But yeah, they're pulling it off pretty
They're
goddamn well.
they're pulling it off very, very well. Better than I expected, and I'm happy for it. And I know we talked about it last week, and I know I just said that was going to be the last
No,
thing
you're
I
good.
said,
Keep
but
going. Keep going. You got
but
time.
I know last week, like we kind of ended it with like you talking about how they should go live, and hearing you this week saying they're really nailing it without being live. It's great to hear, on both sides, because I really do want them to go live a lot more and more frequently and on a weekly basis. But right now, I feel like we're in a comfortable spot that if they keep firing on all cylinders when it comes to this recorded episode, the recorded episodes, I need to put an S at the end. I think we'll be okay until they can kind of get their bearings with the live episodes.
Can I say something that's going to sound offensive, but I don't mean it offensively? Is that because spoilers from TNA aren't reported as heavily as spoilers from a WWE or an AEW show? That it doesn't
Absolutely.
make that big of a difference, whether it's taped or
Absolutely.
live?
Absolutely. It's very, very difficult to find. I don't want to say difficult. You have to search for TNA spoilers. For WWE and AEW spoilers, all you got to do is blindly open up Twitter or blindly open up all the other social media apps, and it probably is the first tweet, the first video that you see. For TNA, you actually kind of have to dig a little bit to find some actual spoilers, and I feel you on that. I think you're right there.
Fair enough. And then, well, last thing is I do have the SmackDown segue pulled up, but as I do see everybody, what I can at least that's come through on the StreamYard end, but we do see YouTube and Twitch. But Boston, Nick, argue with KJ about it tomorrow because I also really. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna have to. We're gonna talk about this. If this man didn't like that match, we're gonna have a discussion because I don't know how you didn't, but yeah. With that being said, I think TNA's clawing its way, making my way downtown, walking fast. Again, if it wasn't for a Grand Slam, I think we'd be much more having a discussion of which is getting viewed more, Collision or TNA right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm right there with you. Tonight was a good showing, and they just have to keep it up. Stay consistent, like I've been saying since the first of the year.
Tonight was a good show. It was a good show, and we keep long going. So I'll try and button this up as much as I can. But our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is all authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you put up with that full life with it.
See you tomorrow for SmackDown.